And welcome to Eastbound eSports. We're at the Rock in North Carolina, home of the Days of Thunder filming. It's Eastbound eSports here tonight. I'm Mike James, your host, as well as Paul Showtime Strickland, calling all the way from Connecticut. Paul, how you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic, Mikey. It is great to be back on the air with Eastbound eSports and TCM here live on Vidane TV. Twin 22s kicking it off here tonight, but before we get to the feature events, we got a little bit of open qualifying. These drivers have 10 minutes on the clock or 20 laps, whichever comes first, to try and get themselves a fast time. Then for the eastbound portion of the show tonight, we're going to be running twin 22-lap features. First feature, we're inverting 5 from qualifying. Second one, going to invert the top 7 in the finishing order of the first feature. Triple feature tonight. Triple head. Lots of notes here. I can't even read my own handwriting. I'm so excited.
Crack the beer. Crack the beer.
Crack the beer. We already did. We're on our beer number 2. It's a long day.
I'm one ahead of you. And 14 drivers here at the Rock here vying for it. Big night here tonight, Paul. We got the Mike on the Rock coming up just right after the Eastbound eSports. So 3 big events here tonight for our fans of the iRACING server. So 14 drivers in this one. Dave Cassidy, Tyler O'Rourke, Ryan Messer, Ryan Libby, Chantel Pottle, Dylan Black, Mike Rideout, Philly Fowler, who's the sponsor here tonight for the GMP Auto Pro, Noah Healy, Dave Horton, Jason Goss, Brandon Hiscock, Nathaniel Wall, Owen Groves, and Kenny McKenzie. So bit of a wild night ahead of us.
100%. And Timmy just wrapped up the drivers' meeting. Coming on up to the broadcast shed. Tim, how we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. We should also mention that Jacob Lawrence is at the back gate waiting to enter the tunnel. We are waiting for him to actually physically connect to the race server. So we are at 16, I believe, if we do get Mr. Lawrence through the gate. Should be a fun little show tonight. Different qualifying format, Paul. This is open qualifying, so essentially everybody on the racetrack at the same time, group qualifying. They can draft if they want to. There's, I think, one pack so far that's got it figured out going down into turn number 1 here. But other than that, get out, set your fast lap, and get ready for the first of 2 22-lap features.
And I'll tell you what, Mikey, after the show, I think we're going to have to go party with the 13 camp because those guys are sponsored by Captain Morgan and Tinder.
Tinder. There you go. Swipe left. I was talking to Owen Groves just earlier on before the session started, and he was saying it was a bit slick out there, so it's great to see the 9 out there. One of the Rookie of the Years from Eastbound. I've also heard Rod St. George, who's a legend of the dirt, he's going to be joining us here shortly. He's still doing some updates, but hopefully we'll have 17 or 18 drivers here tonight. One driver in particular we are still missing is Bern Hickey. Still waiting to try to get that computer. I know Tim's going to be excited to see Bern Hickey finally get into the iRACING server. One of the longest running drivers here in Newfoundland and Labrador, going all the way back to the 1960s.
And you can see there on the left-hand side of your screen, if you're keeping along on the at home on Vidane TV, either on Facebook or YouTube, or even on Twitch. Finally got the Twitch simulcast figured on out. You'll be able to see the best lap times that these drivers have scored there on the left-hand side of the screen, the Vidane TV scoring tower, brought to you by SDK Gaming. And you can see Dave Cassidy knows what he's doing, 24-12 on the top of the board right now, with about 5.5 minutes or so to go here in qualifying.
Still plenty of time to go, but top of the board, Dave Cassidy, the Cap Morgan, and Tinder. 13 machine out front, flying just quite a bit actually here this afternoon, so he's going to be one to be looking at. Tyler O'Rourke from the IHRA drag strip. I have not seen him on the Speedway side of things just yet, but however, in the last year, he's been popular here in the iRACING server, so maybe a little taste of that. Could bring him over to the Speedway in 2022, maybe in a hobby stock run. We'll see what he has in store for us this season as we get set to launch everything here on the Rock in Newfoundland and Labrador. This Victoria Day weekend, we're going to kick things off. 30 events on the board. You can check them all out on eastboundpark.com. Plenty of announcements. Myself and Paul were talking about before the session started. Some hurdles have been jumped through the last couple of weeks, but that big news announcement still about to come down that pipe. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll start announcing our special events. Several of them throughout the 2022 season, starting in May. Pretty much one every month. So it's exciting to get back to the normal schedule that we have seen. We haven't seen that in a couple of years, Paul.
Yeah, 100%, and very excited here, too, in Connecticut, to Stafford Motor Speedway, getting all the schedulings lined up and ready to rock and roll. July 4th weekend, Independence Day weekend here in America. Going to be racing the SRX series at Stafford Motor Speedway. A lot of fun last year, an absolute blast. It felt like a cup race was in the stands there at Stafford Motor Speedway, my home track. So it's going to be cool hanging out with the Rental Race Car crew and all those cats. And it's going to be a blast, especially with all the NEPS guys out there as well, the New England, Pennsylvania iRACING group. A lot of names up at that racetrack, and it's going to be pretty cool to see to have some of the Broadbrook Brewing cans. They came out with some championship cans a little bit ago.
Tim Terry, back in the house, in the shack. What's going on, Tim?
I just want to let you guys know, Jason Goss right now having some issues. Paul, you know how it is with the new damage model sometimes, and the labor graphic intensive updates that they do with these cars?
Yeah, don't say that too loud because we're doing okay here at HQ.
yeah, Jason's having some issues, so he's trying to get everything fixed and ready to go. We did invite some, not necessarily new drivers, but some new drivers to the Eastbound series in here. Ryan Messer, Dave Cassidy, you guys mentioned Ryan Libby's in here as a ringer. Dylan Black as well. Dave Horton is joining us as well. Kind of fill the field out a little bit. But right now, of the top 5, the driver currently on the bubble is the 9 of Owen Groves. And I say bubble because that would be your invert spot to start on the pole if it is to stay that way. And I got about 2.5 minutes left before we go into the final one. But Owen just bumped Chantel Pottle off of 5th place. So she's out there trying to get a little bit quicker to get back up what would be the pole position.
And Tim, just an announcement for all of our fans here at Eastbound. One driver not here with us tonight. Just want to give him a huge congratulations. Nicholas Codner, the youngest gentleman to find himself in the Tim Hortons Briar just a couple weeks ago. Ran for Newfoundland and Labrador, did a great showing, shot 100% on his opening night. Big, huge congratulations to him and his family for setting history here on the Rock. Also, he just won the provincial championships for under 18, so he's heading to the nationals. So besides his racing career, he's got some curling career behind him. So big congratulations from all of us from Eastbound International Speedway to the Nicholas Codner family, and hope to see you back here in the server sooner than later. But enjoy the success that you're having, and good luck on the national stage in a couple weeks.
And it's always cool to see names that you recognize. I remember, I might have even been you that shared the video on Facebook. I'm like, why am I watching a curling video? Wait a minute, I know that name. Hang on, that's Nick Codner. I know him. So it's really cool to see all of his success, and congratulations on that. And we'll see him back out on the track for sure.
Yeah, when you see him on TSN, and they're talking about, the Briar was always about beer, and this kid's only 15 years old, so he's setting records at such an early age. He started in the Bandolero series in Newfoundland. I believe he was 9 years old, and man, the first race he came out, man, he was like a rocket, man. So great to see his successes, and looking forward to seeing his return back to the server as he has quite a few checker flags, and he'd be one to mess with here tonight.
Less than 60 seconds to go here in qualifying. Ryan Messer jumps up to the pole. That means he might start 5th here if everything stays as it was. Owen Groves still on that bubble spot in a P5, like we heard Tim make mention just a moment ago. Chantel Pottle back out on track, trying to get a couple more laps in, maybe try and shave a 10th or 2 off of that time. Not even a 10th, needs a 100th. 24:36 to a 24:37. And that's the difference between 5th and 6th. Tight qualifying times here in the top 5.
Chantel Pottle, the lone lady here tonight. We've got several ladies actually racing at Eastbound International. We've got 4 or 5 actually. Starting from the Bandoleros, Sarah Thorne. Just not yet into the server, but we'll look forward to seeing her in Division 1 NASCAR in the coming months. But Chantel Pottle not actually in a race car just yet. She may have had some dirt track experience from back in the day. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully we'll get to talk to her on the podium if she can get there tonight. But that is one to watch. Hopefully, man, I would love to help her get in a real race car for the 2022 season and see all of her success from the server onto the real racetrack. But we are set to go. It's the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22s, and there is your starting lineup. Owen Groves will take the pole as we have inverted the top 5 from qualifying. Tyler Rourke going to be on the outside of row number 1.
Right in behind him, the lone American here in the Eastbound Esports Series this evening. Ryan Libby going to start P3 with Dave Cassidy on the outside.
And in row 3, Ryan Messer will start on the inside from Nova Scotia. He'll have Chantel Pottle, we just talked about her, in the 6th spot.
7 and 8 look like this. Dylan Black on the inside with Mike Rideout, and the number 76 on the outside.
And looking at the sponsor here tonight, Phil Fowler from GMP Auto Pro will start in that 9th spot, and he'll have Dave Horton to the outside. I'm thinking double-doubles, man, for that row number 5.
Double-double in a box full of Timbits. Jason Goss right in behind him with the 41 car, and the 84 driven by Noah Healy going to start P12.
And next up, we got Brandon Hiscock. He'll have Kenny McKenzie to the outside in the 85 machine.
And rounding out the 16-car field, going to be Nathaniel Wall in the 24-car starting P15, and starting shotgun, Jacob Lawrence in the 05.
One driver in particular not with us here this evening as he messed up big time. He's at Walmart. Robbie Cable sent a message out. He asked if we wanted some cheesies, but he's not going to make it in time. So good luck to him with the wife at Walmart. But we are green flag here with 22 on the board. Owen Groves going to command this one, but slide job coming into the corner. Talked about it earlier. A little bit slick, having some issues here in the rock. But look at that 46 coming on hard. That's the American Ryan Libby to the bottom. Owen Groves all the way up to the top, but almost 3 wide there. As Tyler Rourke sticking his nose in, and he's doing a great job taking that P2 and now vying for the lead off Owen Groves.
There is no time like go time, and when you've got twin 22s, it's always go time. Lap number 1, very exciting. Number 9 of Groves holding on to the back end of that car. Ryan Libby with a big move down to the bottom in that 46 car. How about it? Showing him who's boss, trying to make it happen down on the bottom of the racetrack. But you can see these drivers all over the racetrack trying every sort of which way, trying to do a little homework and maybe get something figured out for the second feature. But look at Libby side by side with the 8 car of O'Rourke.
Now, one thing I've known for 8 years at Eastbound, we've always said the first lap is like the last lap. Have you seen a race like this start off on lap 1 and have so much aggression and lots of power moves in the first couple here, Paul?
That I have not. It's been a while since we've seen a race get going just like that right out of the gate. And these drivers know they don't have much time to get to the checkered flag, but they got to get there in one piece. No quick repairs here tonight in the Twin 22s. It's only 22-lap features, so we don't need any of those. And no incident caps either. They've got 2 sets of tires in the pits. How about that? Almost 3 wide every lap so far.
Oh, Tyler O'Rourke getting it done here now. Out front takes away that lead, but here comes Owen Groves to all the way to the top. Looks like he likes the top side here. He's finding, but he gets a little into the wall. That's going to send the one around. Metzger's going to get in. Libby's going to be into it. And there's a pile up here on lap number 18. Owen Groves trying to get it to stick at the top, but spanks the wall and takes some of the top leaders here tonight. Libby, big upset, as well as Ryan Messer involved with that. No quick repair here, Paul, but we're going to rewind the tapes here, take it back to the future, and bring us back, Paul.
That we will. The U-House Race Designs instant replay. Going to take a little look-see and watch what happens. We saw it happen live. You see the 9 car all the way up to the outside safer barrier. Gets a little slapperoo on there. Hooks the 1. Gets into the 46. The 08's in there of O'Rourke. There's a lot of... Oh, he spilled the Captain Morgan out of the 13 car. That is not good. I'm going to have to go down there and clean that up.
He swiped right.
He swiped right in the Tinder car.
Oh man, what a night here for Eastbound Esports. With the first 5 completed, that's going to shake up the order here as we see a lot of activity on pit road. There's the 9 heading down. Cassidy will start on the front row with Tyler O'Rourke from the IHRA drag strip here at Eastbound, representing the dragsters here tonight. The 8 machine, Tyler O'Rourke, doing a massive job. Obviously putting some time into the server over the last year. I remember his first race, man, he was there. What a job that 8 has done over the last 6 months in the server, and representing here tonight for the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22s. Chantel Bottle will start on the inside of that row number 2. She'll have Michael Rideout. Healy going to shift up into row number 3 with Jason Goss. Fowler and McKenzie going to make up row number 4, and Horton and Nathaniel Wall all the way back in row number 5. Jacob Lawrence, we talked about him earlier, missed the qualifying session, but here now in the 11th spot.
Half a dozen or so cars involved in that one, most of them still on pit road, getting the virtual hammers out to fix some of that damage. The 9 of Owen Groves, Ryan Libby, Ryan Messer, Dylan Black, and Brandon Hiscock all down on pit road trying to get these things worked on. Owen Groves going to be the first one off pit road there, and the light's still on. The iRacing Mustang pace car, is that the Mustang? That might be the non-manufacturer
The neutral.
specific.
Is it the gender? What's that called?
The non-manufacturer specific iRacing safety car.
Gender neutral.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like a Neon, but it kind of looks like a Camry. We're not really sure what it is. And I think when we asked iRacing, they just kind of shrugged and said they weren't sure.
I don't know what they're calling it now in the schools, but something.
Something, for sure. Gonna get the green flag here with 14 laps to go. You can see everybody doubling up, joining the pack here. The 08 car of Dylan Black, the only car 1 lap down. Everybody else still on the lead lap. Keep in mind, folks, no quick repairs, and we're inverting the top 7 from feature number 1 into the feature number 2. So that's going to be something a lot of these damaged cars are going to try and shoot for. Maybe get up to that 7th position being held by Kenny McKenzie right now and try and start on the pole for feature race number 2.
And if you're just tuning in, it's the Eastbound Esports, the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22. 2 features here tonight, here at the Mile, here in Rockingham, North Carolina. It's the Rock, the home of Cole Trickle and the Days of Thunder film crew. A lot of filming done in this stadium, so here we go. Our Rourke will take the command here. Look at Chantel Bottle hugging the bottom here, trying to catch up to that 13, looking for that 2 spot.
Trying to get everything she can out of that 5 car. Definitely one of the most improved drivers here in the server, in the iRacing group here in TCM and Eastbound Esports. It's been great to kind of watch. Big wiggle there for the 84 and Noel Healy, but he holds on to it, tucks into the tire tracks there of the number 5, and he's going to try and take a peek down low, decides he's going to go all the way up high, try and use that high side to get around. But Chantel Bottle doing fantastic, holding on to P3 right now.
Dylan Black still on pit road, but the rest of the field still on the lead lap. So those cars here at the Rock, big mile course here, so allowed enough time for those guys not to go down a lap here. So all cars besides Dylan Black still on the lead lap here. And we got action again. This the 9, I believe, hard into the wall, still under green flag as they continue to get it going here. Unfortunately, he's going to head down pit road.
It looks like he's going to call for a tow truck. That front end was all sorts of cattywampus on the right front side. He's going to go back and work on that thing, get a new car for the 2nd feature here. But how about the battle for the lead? Tyler O'Rourke holding on to it. Dave Cassidy wants to get up there, try and swipe right and get himself into the lead in that Captain Morgan Tinder number 13 car, but he's going to have to wait just a moment because caution flag 2 is going to come out and Phil Fowler involved.
Off the, we didn't get a view of that, but that's going to be a rewind on the tape to see what happened here. Rewind it back. Take us back in time, Paul, and we'll have a look-ski. But I don't think it was Phil Fowler that was the cause here. But we'll just see in just a moment here.
Looking like, pardon me, looking like wrong place at the wrong time for the number 11 car. You can see there's smoke. That is the 84 of Noah Healy that was around. Nowhere for the 11 car to go. You can see hard on the brakes trying to get that car stopped, but not quite coming down to it. Here you can see side-by-side battle between Kenny McKenzie and the 85 and the 84 car of Noah Healy. The 85 kind of drifts up the track and gets into the quarter panel. The 84 sends him around. The 76 gets a piece of it. There's Fowler right in the racing groove, and looks like everybody else is going to get away okay, but that Goodwrench car definitely needs that virtual sheet metal banged out.
Yeah, 2 drivers not happy with the situation there, but the great thing here tonight for Eastbound Esports Twin 22s, we're going to invert the field for the main event for number 2. So plenty of racing here tonight. We also got Mike on the Rock coming up just right after the Eastbound Esports here at the Rockingham Speedway. Not very often I get to get the call, but getting my own race feels pretty good, Paul.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know the guy sponsoring the event later on tonight. He's a gentleman and a scholar from.
We're going streaking.
None of that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know, Paul, getting back to a little bit of normalcy, we were just discussing Phoenix there this past Sunday, the Cup Series. Myself and you have been talking about the great pilgrimage to Phoenix for the final race of the season. Now with everything going back to somewhat normal, maybe that Phoenix pilgrimage might be in our future.
Definitely.
How cool would that be?
Definitely a possibility. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's starting to get back outside, and there's a lot of racetracks that are really getting ready to ramp up for the 2022 season to make up for the past 2 years. And I keep mentioning Stafford Motor Speedway, but I've talked to you, I've talked to Tim, and a couple of other folks involved in the racing up there. I want to get up to Canada for a couple of races this year. I want to get up there and try some Tim Hortons and maybe some poutine, and definitely, check out some of that Eastbound.
You just got to drive the Buffalo. You just got to drive the Buffalo to get some Tims.
Where am I going to get a Buffalo?
Up to Buffalo, New York.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to ride a Buffalo up there. That doesn't make any sense. I'll
Tim
race
Hortons
anything,
in the United States, man.
Yeah,
you can get some
Buffalo.
doubles in the USA. You don't have to come all the way up here, but you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you up here at Eastbound, especially for the season opener. But I know you're going to be pretty busy at Stafford Motor Speedway, so hopefully we'll get you up there. I know there's some monster races in the schedule for 2022 for Eastbound Live, so we would love to have you call a show up here.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I've been looking for a shot to try and do this thing that we do here, entertaining the masses, doing it live at a racetrack. But there goes Pace Car. He's going to go down and get himself a double-double and some Timbits. We're going to go racing again. There's the jump for the 8-car. Tyler O'Rourke getting the big old jump, 3-4 car lengths over the second place battle between Dave Cassidy and Jason Goss. I don't think we've mentioned Jason Goss all night tonight.
No, he's been pretty quiet. He had some server issues earlier on, but now coming alive, now on the podium in that third spot. But he's going to be a strong contender here tonight. Always a strong representative, and representing the team from Torbay. He's probably going to have a big night here tonight. I'm hoping to see him on the final big TCM special event as well. So taking a peek, that's the 46 all the way up to the top. That's Ryan Libby, our lone American here tonight in the Eastbound Esports. Chantel Pottle all the way back there behind the 46. So plenty of time to go here, 6 to go. It is a new leader here, Dave Cassidy, going to rob that one from the 8 car from Tyler O'Rourke. And man, I've said that name so often on the official IHRA 8th mile track here at Eastbound, and to call him in a super late is always a pleasure. So see what he's got for us as we count down those laps. Fistful of 5 left to go here in race number 1 for the GMP Auto Pro 22. There's Ryan Libby to the bottom. He's looking for that P2 and fighting back side by side. O'Rourke's not going to give it up too easy.
There you can see just a little bit of a slip up off the back end of that 8 car. Gives the 46 car that spot. Moves Libby up into the second spot with 4 laps to go. O'Rourke going to peak down low. Thinks better of it. He's going to go back up to that high side. We've seen a lot of drivers move their cars up into the high side, up to that safer barrier, that safer outside wall to try and get just a little bit of extra traction, a little bit of extra track position. There you can see Chantel Pottle, a little bit of a bounce off the wall. Doesn't affect her too much. Keeps the thing pointed straight. Keeps it in front of Horton there in the 73.
Yeah, Messer involved with that incident at the beginning of this one, so trying to fight back, but finds himself at the mid-pack, about 7th position here. But it's all Dave Cassidy right now. He's got a pretty commanding, as we see the 05. Jacob Lawrence is going to come around. Single car incident, no caution here, 2 to go. Cassidy still commanding this one as it's going to come to the white silk in just a moment. Down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Here comes the 13 of Cassidy. Caution is thrown. Not quite sure. Oh no! The leader coming around gets involved with the caution car. The 05 Jacob Lawrence really messed up wheel destroyed on the front end. Man, what a shocker here to get this one finished here with just a couple to go.
Yeah, tough break. We're going to take a look at the U-House Race Design instant replay. Take a peek there at the 05 of Jacob Lawrence. Single car incident to start. And we heard Tim talk before we came on air here. Gonna kind of let the single car things go. And there you can see gets into the 24 car. The Hello Kitty car goes up, slaps into the 85 McKenzie and comes down to the apron here. Everything looked good from here. Hits the apron again, gets that thing spun around. Out of the racing groove at this point. Tries to grab a gear, comes to a complete stop, then tries to grab a gear, and that's a tough thing to do there. Trying to get up the hill, the 24 car gets by, spins it, doesn't have enough grip, and unfortunately backs in front of the racing leader. There you see Dave Cassidy, big time hit, and Cassidy going to come down pit road with 3 laps to go, putting Ryan Libby up towards the front.
Man, it's going to be a huge upset for Dave Cassidy, and was looking for a big win. He hasn't had a lot of wins this season. He's had some magic moments over the last couple of years during the pandemic. So, unfortunately for Cassidy, he's going to be on pit road servicing that ride. But front row is going to be Ryan Libby going to take the hammer here. And Tyler O'Rourke, actually O'Rourke will get the hammer here. He will be on the bottom here, and we'll see what happens. We've seen him jump right as soon as that pace car got out of here. So if Libby was watching, he may have had some notes on this restart. So we've seen 1 or 2 from Tyler O'Rourke earlier. Here we go. Pace car has exited. 2 to go here. Green, white checker. But look at this. The 46 way out front, the bottom here. Maybe the 46 had the hammer. Not sure what happened there if they allowed the leader to take the top.
Definitely would have looked like. And Ryan Libby, a master of restarts. We've seen him do it a lot of times in the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group. A couple of times here in the TCM and the Eastbound races here. Actually, I believe this is Libby's first Eastbound race, and he's going to come through, get the white flag, a white rag, 1 lap to go, and nobody else in sight. Jason Goss back there in second. You can see O'Rourke holding on to P3. Chantel Pottle, Kenny McKenzie rounding out the top 5 so far. But Ryan Libby has 3 and 4 to make, and everybody else going to follow in behind.
All came down to that restart as Libby comes around 3 and 4 down the front stretch. Checker flags out for the 46. Ryan Libby taking it home, followed by Jason Goss, Tyler O'Rourke, Chantel Pottle, and Kenny McKenzie, your top 5.
Ryan Messer, Dave Horton, Noah Healy, and Mike Rideout going to round out. Nathaniel Wall going to round out the top 10, and a couple of drivers still on. The rest of the field still on pit road there, getting service done to their machines, getting it all lined up, and we've got ourselves a little 60-second break here to get everything warmed up, ready to rock and roll for the second of the 2 Twin 22 features. We're going to try and get a quick word with winner number 1 here. Ryan Libby, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, it's Paul Strickland up in the booth. Great win there. Twin 22's race number 1 goes to the 46 car. How'd you do it, and what have you got for the second one?
Try to stay out of trouble. We got in a little mix-up there on like lap 3 or 4 there. Had to pit and fix some damage, but figure I'd put 4 fresh tires on and go back to the front. Too bad what happened with Dave there. I probably was a second-place car, but unfortunately Dave had a little misfortune there, and we just capitalized on it.
100%, and it looks like he's going to start in P1 here, so he finished 7th in that first one. But good luck in the second one. Looks like we're getting ready to line them up.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
Ryan Libby, driver of the number 46 car, winner of the first of the Twin 22s here this evening. And now we're on the second 22. And, well, you can't talk about the number 22 without giving my buddy Gary a shout out. Gary Spinato, co-owner of the Renner Race Car Group, coming back for one final street stock race at Stafford Motor Speedway this year. He's going to be racing against me, and he's going to be racing against his son, who's going to be a third-generation race car driver. The son of a race car driver. Going to be an awesome time.
Son of a son.
Going to be an awesome time at Stafford Speedway. And you heard it right. This guy's jumping into a street stock again. I'm pumped.
That's awesome, man. Love to hear third-generation race teams as we keep moving. A lot of big activity from the 60s. We're seeing it here in Newfoundland, Labrador as well. Seeing several families. Sarah Thorne, one of them as well, representing the ladies. She's chasing her dad in the late models in her second generation for her family. But let's get this one going. The final 22 laps on the board for the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22s. If you're looking for a quick paint job, something slick, you got a damaged wheel, call on GMP Auto Pro, one of the best body shops here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Representing here tonight, Phil Fowler in that 11. So here we go. Front row is going to be 73. Dave Horton. He'll have Ryan Messer to the outside.
Kenny McKenzie and Chantel Potto going to make up row number 2.
From Torbay, the firefighter in the 41, Jason Goss, will have the 8, Tyler Rourke to the outside.
Ryan Libby, race number 1 winner, going to start P7 with Noah Healy in the 84, starting in P8.
Michael Rideout from CBS going to be on the inside of row number 5 with Nathaniel Wall in the 24 to the outside.
Dave Cassidy, after the last lap troubles there, is going to start in the 11th spot with Jacob Lawrence starting in 12.
And next up, we got Phil Fowler, the sponsor here tonight, the number 11. He'll have Brandon Hiscock to the outside. Completing the field, Dylan Black and Owen Groves. We are green flag with the hammer drop from Dave Horton in the 73. Gets out to a commanding lead, jumps to the top here. Ryan Messer trying to get it done on the top side here. We'll try to sneak in here for that P2 between himself and Chantel Pottle. Look at this, crossover for the 1. Lots of activities. We see the 9 involved. First caution already here on lap number 1.
Big time damage on the discount tire 041 of Brandon Hiscock for caution flag at numero uno here in the second of twin 22. That's a lot to say. That's tough. But taking a look, these drivers know that these cars are a little bit tough to handle on cold tires, and you'll see that here right off the rip. The 041 take a peek on the outside, kissing the outside safer barrier. Doesn't quite have a grip on that car, and you can see loses it there, and well, there's the 84 car pointed in the wrong direction in a unrelated event. So we'll back that up one more time here in the U-House Race Designs instant replay, and you can see the 84 car loses the back end of the race car getting into the corner, and just doesn't seem to want to stick. It's actually a front end that got him loose, and didn't hit too much, but sounds like Tim's at the door.
Paul, we would like to report there was sailboat fuel all over turns number 1 and 2, which took 3 cars away for a spin.
Yes, sailboat fuel, because sailboats run on fuel.
They could. They have engines on board.
You know,
Sailboats have diesel on board.
It took me like a week to put that together the last time that analogy was used, and well, I guess it's windy in turn 3. I don't know.
Long may your big jib draw, me old cock.
Sure. With that being said, we're lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Lights are off. Quickie yellow here. Nobody coming down pit road. We're going to do some more racing. 20 laps to go. Taking the green flag with 19 to go.
Yeah, let's go. 20 on the board here. First caution in the early stages of lap number 1. Horton and Mess are going to get it going again on the front row. Lights are out on the pace car. We are set to go back the final 22 laps of the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22s for Eastbound eSports. It's we got a couple more before we go live this Victoria Day weekend, so stay tuned for the next one. But here we go. Pace car exit. Horton with the hammer.
Green flag flying once again, and we are racing here at Rockingham. And you can see side by side, Messer trying to take the lead the long way around, all the way up towards the outside wall, gets it done. That one car trying to check out.
This is one track. Oh, we got nastiness on the inside here. Body parts everywhere. Still green, though. I don't know what happened there, but not going to get a replay on that one. But we got 2 cars in a dice. That's Brandon Hiscock, I believe, to the tail here. So not good.
Dylan Black, Mike Rideout involved in that one. Dave Horton in the 73 car getting a little bit loose. He holds on to it. A couple of drivers going down pit road. Ryan Messer up in the front. 9/10 of a second, almost a full second lead now over Chantel Pottle running P2 on the high side, making it work.
Representing the ladies tonight, Chantel Pottle from Conception Bay North. Look at the battle here. That is Ryan Libby. Caution is out into the poop barrels. The stank barrels in the corner here, but that's going to rewind the tape here. Unfortunately, the 24 involved as well in this one, so Nathaniel Wall with the Hello Kitty.
Why you gotta wreck the Hello Kitty car? What's up with that? You can see Night car comes in just a little bit too hot, a little bit of contact, and there you can see right off the nose
Not
of
the
the
Hello
9
Kitty's
car.
fault.
Not the Hello Kitty's fault.
Oh!
41, that was a big hit. And there you see the body panels flying off of race cars. They're just going to call for the virtual tow truck, and they're going to put a tarp
This is
over
when
that
we
bad
need
boy.
Scott Tilley, our safety manager at Eastbound, to come out with a wrecker and just clean all this stuff up.
That's it. They call it, I'm sure they call it everywhere else, but at Stafford Speedway, they call that double hooked. You got a hook on either end of the race car.
Tilley's out there saying, what's going on, fellas?
A lot of sailboat fuel on the track, apparently. Allegedly.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Owen Groves was saying earlier in the test session, he found it a little bit slick here. 24-degree banking here at the Rock, 1 mile course. Some drivers just not as familiar as others. Quite a few racetracks in the server now. iRACING, you go all the way back, I believe, into the late 90s, Paul?
I've been doing this way longer than I'd like to admit, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the server has grown exponentially every year. There's new tracks. So, you know, you look at the variations. I mean, even Eastbound in real life, you know, it's a gnarly track. You know, some people that come visit us, DJ Kennington was here who raced at the Daytona 500. JR Fitzpatrick has been here. So many drivers that visit Eastbound, not regular drivers, find it a little bit gnarly. It's an uphill 1-2, downhill 3-4. Each track has its characteristics. And Rockingham, very charismatic, would love to see this back in the Cup Series. I know you were saying earlier, a lot of money being sunk into this track in real life. So hopefully one day we see this back in the circuit.
Yeah, kind of a unique design where the turns don't match. It's very similar to Stafford Motor Speedway when that track is being paved. Apparently, the legend goes, somebody moved one of the markers and they just paved around it in turns 3 and 4.
Maybe they'll make it back in the series when Days of Thunder 2 comes out. And the Top Gun 2 is coming out, so maybe we'll see Tom Cruise, Cole Trickle as a crew chief.
There you go. Maybe have a young and up-and-coming late model driver as the star of the show there.
Cole Trickle's son, second generation.
There you go.
We should get Tom on the line right now.
I don't have his phone number. You got his phone number?
We'll just Twitter him.
There you go. Get on the Twitter box.
He's Scientology, though. I'm not sure if he's on Twitter.
I don't think he's Scientology anymore.
How do you give up?
I don't know. There goes the pace car. He's tired of listening to us. Green flag flies. Ryan Messer's tired of listening to us, too. He's gone. Checked out 8-9 car lengths. Going on into turn number 1. Battle going to be for second. Chantel Pottle holding on to the high side. The 8 of O'Rourke is there. Libby is there. Goss is there. A little bit of a kiss to the outside wall from the 5. Doesn't slow her down. Still holding tough up top.
Goss wants to make it 3 wide. Libby tried to be the meat in the sandwich there, but decided to check up here. Side by side they come. O'Rourke will come away from this one. Picking up that's Precious and number 3 spots. Oh, he's going to come around. Chantel into the box. Goss gets collected. Libby off the 5. Caution going to come out here. A bit of damage here on lap number 12. Almost to the cross flags mark, but unfortunately for the 8 car of Todd O'Rourke, going to pick up a significant amount of damage on this one.
And the U-House Race Designs Instant Replay going to take a peek at this one, and lots of damage to a lot of fast cars. Tough break for a lot of fast cars, but it looks like everybody should be okay. Going to come down pit road and maybe bang out some sheet metal, but here is the incident. The 8 car goes around, and as he comes back up the track, the 46 gets a piece, the 8 gets a piece, the 5, the 85, the 11 of Phil Fowler, he gets a piece. Everybody getting a little piece of the action here.
Yeah, 85 took a big chunk of that one. Kenny McKenzie still on pit road. Third caution of the evening here for the second half of the GMP Auto Pro Twin 22s here tonight for Eastbound eSports. Getting excited for the regular season coming up in just, we're going to be starting counting weeks now here shortly. Looks like everybody's coming down pit road, which is pretty crazy. What's going on?
That tells me everybody has their cell phones out and they're listening to us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. We got to thank everybody that's out there watching. We heard Ryan Libby won the first race, came down about halfway to get 4 fresh tires. They do have 2 sets of tires down on pit road for each of these Twin 22s. So the quicker or the new tires definitely might help here after 12 laps on the board. We're going to see Noah Healy, Nathaniel Wall, and Phil Fowler, 3 drivers staying out. Everybody else down on pit road. Dave Horton down a lap, it looks like. Mike Rideout, Dylan Black, they are still on pit road from an earlier incident. Owen Groves, Brandon Hiscock, and Jacob Lawrence all parking it in the garage area for the evening. Hopefully we see them in the TCM. Mike on the Rock 75 coming up right after this.
And now, Paul, remember lap number 1 on race number 1 of tonight? We've seen lots of action in that first lap. With all these fresh tires, with the top 3 not taken, I got a feeling we're going to see a wild start here, as we're going to see Noah Healy, Nathaniel Wall on row number 1. Fowler will pick up 10 spots here, finds himself in P3 with Ryan Messer to the outside, one of the Pro Stock drivers for the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, visiting here tonight at Eastbound. Glad to have him on board and being a part of what's going on here at Eastbound. 9 to go here as the lights were gonna turn off on the gender neutral pace car. That will come exiting to the left. Here we go. Noah Healy with the hammer with the Hello Kitty to the outside. 11. Phil Fowler trying to judge it here. Waiting. Here we go.
We're on the backstretch. We're not going yet.
Mike, you can't judge it when the pace car's still out there.
I thought they were going to go to the front stretch, man. I'll have another beer.
Grab me one, too.
I'm still one ahead. I'm one ahead.
It's a race to the finish. Who's going to drink more beer by the end of the show?
Man, damn. I thought we were coming to 3 and 4. I was excited.
But ATV always reminds you to drink responsibly. Here we go.
That's when you're looking in a tunnel instead of looking out the tower. Here we go.
Yeah.
Ready?
There he goes.
Ready? Fire!
There he goes. Noah Healy with the shot. 84 going to take off 3 wide at the line for P2. Phil Fowler making it happen on the bottom side. Ryan Messer going to prevail with those new tires. He's towing the 46 with him.
I was thinking that was not going to work out. 3 wide. Fowler to the bottom, but look at the tires coming. Noah Healy's coming on full attack from Ryan Messer and Ryan Libby. 4 fresh Cougars on the 1 and the 46 of Libby. Look at the difference in speed as they're going to split the 84 in 2. But no, the 46 decides to go to the top. He'll chase the 1 and not take the chance on the bottom. They're going to cleanly come to the top here and try to get around the 84 of Noah Healy. That is your 2021 Bandolero champion here at Eastbound. He's going to take that P3 as Messer and Libby get it going here in the final 7 laps.
Taking just a brief onboard. Oh, the 46 kisses the outside safer barrier. Doesn't slow him down too much. Actually, yeah, Messer's going to pull away by another car length in that number 1 car. But you got that quick little glimpse there of the cockpit view from Ryan Libby in the 46 car. Sawing on that wheel back and forth, trying to keep that thing pointed in the right direction. But high five from the flagman. 5 laps to go here in feature number 2. Twin 22s here tonight. Ryan Messer has it. Ryan Libby wants it. He is there.
Cassidy on the move will move into that P3, but way off, about 4 or 5 car lengths away from our leaders. But here comes Tyler O'Rourke. He took 4. He's on the move. Now taking that position away from the 84 of Noah Healy. Finds himself in P4. Look at this battle back here. Goss, and as well as the 11 Fowler and Hello Kitty. Here comes Nathaniel Wall to the bottom.
Big time action with 4 laps to go. Chantal Pottle still using that high side, making it work, looking to get around the 24 car. Gonna run out of time though with those 4 fresh tires back up front. Ryan Messer now all the way up to the inside, or outside rather. Ryan Libby down on the inside with those fresh tires, trying to get that 46 car to the point, but he's right on the back bumper. Almost uses the corner of the wall to get that car turned right up to the bumper. Ryan Messer doesn't quite have enough. Going to tuck in the tire tracks with 3 laps to go, heading into turns 3 and 4.
Libby in the 46, trying to calculate. Where's the speed? Cutting sharp on that last one. Did not have enough to the outside of the 1 of Messer. Sizing it up. He's got a couple to go here. 2 to go. Will Libby make the move here? Will he make it too soon? And the 1 repay before we get to those checkers. This is going to be the battle. down the backstretch into 3 and 4. White Silk will come by next time by for the one of Ryan Messer.
Ryan Libby doing everything he can to try and close into the back bumper of that one car. Does he have enough time to get there? Does he have enough time to get around him? Messer up to the high side, all the way up to the outside wall. High, wide, and handsome, just like the two of us here in the booth. Down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Ryan Messer trying to hold on. Ryan Libby in second.
All the way down to the yellow. Not enough. The one will hold on here. Down the front stretch. Checkers coming out for the one of Ryan Messer from Nova Scotia for the Maritime Pro Sector. Look at the battle side by side. The 41 and the 84. Man, what a finish for those guys. Nathaniel Wall slide jobs into him. Man, what a finish between Goss and Healy. Healy taking that top 5. Man, what a finish for the mid-pack guys. And Chantal Bottle finishing in the 7th spot. But our winner here tonight for race number 2 for the GMP Auto Pro 22 Twins is Ryan Messer. As we see him on the screen here at the Rock, celebrating. Big win here tonight for the one machine. Ryan Libby trying to get it done there in the final couple of laps, but just not enough speed for Messer. Cassidy, your final top 3. And Tyler Rourke finding himself in a P4. And the young Bandolero champion, Noah Healy, completing your top 5.
Jason Gosh going to finish in 6th. Chantal Pottle slides to 7th. Phil Fowler in 8th. Nathaniel Wall finishing in 9th. That's it for the lead lap cars. 10th place going to go to Kenny McKenzie, Owen Groves, Dave Horton, Dylan Black, Brandon Hiscock, Mike Rideout, and Jacob Lawrence. Going to round out the field here for race number 2. And Twin 22's in the book, getting ready to do 75 laps here from Mike on the Rock, right at the same track here at Rockingham.
A lot of fun tonight, Paul, man, to kick things off. We were just weeks away from that start for Eastbound International Speedway and Dragway here at Eastbound Park, Avondale, Newfoundland, Labrador. For all you fans tuning in tonight, check out the schedule on eastboundpark.com. Stay tuned and glued to our social media outlets as we are going to get set to make some major announcements. I know Patty Squires is just biting at the bit right now to get things going. Everybody, the flick of the switch, the 2022 season's here, and we are full on for the 22 season. Last couple of years, a little bit rough throughout the pandemic, but holding on, some great racing in 2021. And we're looking forward to welcome back all of our fans this Victoria Day weekend. I tell you, we're probably going to set a record here, Paul.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be great to get back to the real racetrack and smell that race gas and smell the track food and all that good stuff. And we're really looking forward to it myself, and all of our visitors or viewers out there are looking forward to that as well. But while we've got a minute, we got to do a little bit of a reset here, get everything lined up for the TCM special event here this evening, the Mike and the Rock 75. I believe, Tim's at the door, so put a pin in that. Tim, how we doing?
Well, we're doing good, but Mike James has caught up with our winner, Ryan Messer.
I was getting there.
Hey, Messer, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you took a win here tonight. Little taste of what you may see tonight for the 75, Mike on the Rock. Take us through your first couple here tonight.
Well, didn't have the greatest luck in the first one there. Just was getting a little bit racy and got in a wreck there. So the car wasn't hurt too bad, but started at the back. So knowing there was going to be a top 7 invert, I opted to stay back there so I could try and start on the front row for the second one and focus on getting that one, which on that late restart I knew I was going to have to get aggressive to get around the cars that stayed out. So, but it worked out in the end and was able to get the win. So hopefully we can do a repeat here in a few minutes.
Seemed like you've found a lot of speed at the top of the track. Yourself and Ryan Libby, the 46 from the NEP series. We're going at it for the final couple of laps. Libby trying to find everything he could there on the bottom. But how did you find the top here tonight in the first couple?
Top seems to be really good. You can bounce the car around quite a bit, and it can hurt you pretty quick. But no, if you don't overdrive it too bad, it's definitely the faster lane up top. The bottom, you can make it work, which makes it really good side-by-side racing. The top is the better lane, though. So it'll be interesting to see when we get more cars in this next one, how it goes.
Well, thanks for jumping on the Eastbound Esports, taking the first win for your inaugural Eastbound race, man. Hopefully, one day we see you here in Newfoundland, Labrador. Maybe grab some checkers here on the big 5/8 or 3/8 mile here in Avondale, Newfoundland. Ryan, you got a busy season ahead of you. I know you're probably busy in the garage. What do you got coming up in this coming May?
We're just going to be, I think we're going to be running the new point steel at Speedway 660, but we're just going to be trying to get all the big pro stock races around the Maritimes here. I would like to go to Eastbound someday. I've seen pictures and videos, and it looks like a really awesome racetrack. So maybe someday we'll be able to get up there and something.
Well, you know someone to call to make sure the arrangements are all perfect. We'll make sure you get on that boat and show you a good time. Lots of partying over here and some great racing. Big season ahead of us. Great to see that you're going to run the 660 this year. Brent Roy, friends of ours, and what a great track the 660 crowd is. So congratulations from all of us from Eastbound as well as Vidane TV and TCM. Best of luck here tonight. They're calling it after me tonight, so I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit gnarly and somebody's going to go streaking.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to try and see if we can get her done.
Well, hopefully you take the win here tonight, streaking down the front stretch. Best of luck, Ryan, and we'll see you hopefully in the podium in just a bit.
I hope so too. Thanks.
I think I scared him with the streaking there, Paul.
You scare everybody with the streaking.
I don't know. Frank the Tank, man. We're going streaking.
I don't know about any of that. But getting things lined up here, we'll see if we can still get I think Tim's still in the back corner. I think he's getting into our donuts.
Hey, what's on the go?
That's on the go there, bud. Just taking a look. Everybody kind of getting their last happy hour, the last little bit of practice in here of the TCM Special Event here, the Mike on the Rock 75 here at Rockingham. Everything looking good. Beautiful track weather. What can we look forward to here in the 75 lapper?
Some very quick qualifying and some very intense qualifying, as Mike on the Rock would enjoy, I'm sure, Mike. We're going to do, I think, and I can't remember the way it splits, Paul. I think we're taking 24 into the feature. We have 37 currently logged into the server, so we're going to send some drivers home. Qualifying is going to take the top two tonight. So the top two from time trials are going to lock directly into the field. We're going to run, I think, up to 4 8-lap heat races. Everybody else goes to the balance of the Consi, top 4 through each of those heat races. Everybody else to a balance of 1 of 2 Consis, which I believe take 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure on how many that takes because we set the server up about a week ago, so I can't remember what we put in here. So you know how that works. We'll see what happens, but 39 logged in, 37 currently doing laps. This is going to be exciting, and we're going to go qualifying here in about 7 minutes. So I've got to get down there and do a driver's meeting.
And with that being said, you heard the big man himself. We're going to take ourselves a quick little break, pay some bills here on our end, get a couple of these ice-cold wobbly pops lined up here for the 75-lap feature. The Mike on the Rock 75. We're going to be going racing here at Rockingham. Don't go anywhere. All right, go get a beer. We'll be back.
It's presented by Bush.
Hey, I'm CTWE wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown! With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker, The future is feeling.
Living with anxiety or depression can make everyday situations and interactions seem impossible, and getting the right help can be expensive and inconvenient. We're changing that with Tranquility. Our program follows the highly effective gold standard, cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps people change negative thoughts and unhelpful behaviors by teaching them skills to practice in real life. Using Tranquility is convenient. You can move at your own pace from your phone or computer, and you don't have to do it alone. Your one-on-one coach is there to help keep you motivated and supported all the way through. If you're ready to unlock the tools you need to approach the day with confidence, visit tranquility.app to sign up for a free trial.
Have you seen my kick-ass subscription box anywhere? Oh, there it is.
do we do?
Back at it once again, lining them up for some heat racing action. Qualifying is done. Heat race number 1 here for Mike on the Rocks on the front straightaway. Going to see who's going to get ready to try and race their way in. We're going to be sending some drivers home here. Almost 40 drivers signing on up here, qualifying, trying to qualify for 24 spots. Check that. And you can see right here, Craig Tully in the 5 car going to be starting on the pole with Dave Cassidy, starting outside row number 1.
4 heats going to be in here. We're going to take 4 on this one. Like I said, Conrad Murphy will make up row number 2 on the inside of the 89 machine. He'll have Jason Goss, the firefighter from Torbay, in the 41 DC Auto machine.
Right in behind him, you can see the 24 car of Derek Gates. Going to be the 89 on your screen. Nope, just kidding. There's the 24 car. Wrong row. The recar number 24 machine going to be starting in the 5th spot. Chris Roma in the 83 going to start P6.
Ricker from 229 Auto Sports, one of our Americans in the 109. We'll have Todd Tumps to the outside and row number 4 in the 72.
And rounding out the field, going to be Magnum Mike Hopkins in the 78 car. And right in behind him, Corey Hallett. Doesn't look like he made the call for the start of this one. So it's going to be a 9-car heat race with 8 laps, taking the top 4 to the feature, top 2 from qualifying already locked into the show. And if we take a quick peek at the qualifying results, we can see the rational Richard Drake going to be starting on the pole, and Ryan Libby going to be starting on the outside. He's had himself a little bit of practice, won the first of the Twin 22s and finished second in the second, so already has quite a few laps under his belt here tonight, and definitely going to be a favorite to win here. And he's got a lot of the Neps guys in here as well, about a dozen of them scattered on throughout the field, but we're getting ready to go racing. Pace cars down on pit road. Tully and Cassidy, the front row.
Couple of ringers here tonight, cheating in the Eastbound eSports, getting a quick peek, but here we go, 8 on the board. Tully fires out of the cannon, and it's going to be Murphy and Cassidy fighting for that P2. Goss within reach on the back bumper, 89 of Murph.
There is a little throwback for you, the Hendrick Motorsports number 89 car, the Exalta machine with the newer sponsors on it. Kind of a cool look. Jason Goss in the 41 car had a pretty good run in the Twin 22s. A little bit of damage on that 41 car, but the good thing is, new race, new car. We're side by side for second now.
Go to the backup. Look at this strong presence from the 41. We are taking 4 cars on this one, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that P5. Will he come into the picture? That's going to be Gates in that spot. Derek Gates in the 24. Not that far off, so big battle coming up in just a moment as we count them down. 6 to go. Tully leading the way.
Picking them up, putting them down. You can see these drivers, for the most part, using that middle groove all the way around the racetrack. And we saw in the Twin 22s earlier here tonight from the Eastbound eSports races. Everywhere is inbounds here on this racetrack, from the outside safer barrier all the way down to the apron and everything in between. Well, we're going to get a high five already from the flagman. 5 laps to go for Craig Tully in the 5 car, leading it in this one.
And it looks like the Murphy going to challenge that P2. 13 Cassidy to the outside. Murphy's trying to sneak to the bottom here. Talking to the boys earlier on, Messer had found a lot of speed at the top. That final battle in the Eastbound eSports, final 22 laps, Libby trying to get some speed on the bottom. But it looked like the top side here was a little bit quicker here in the Rock. Tonight, though, 75 laps will be on the board, which will be a game changer. Definitely going to see some pit road activity tonight as we get set here in heat race number 1. We're going to take 4 into the main. They'll join Rational Richard Drake in the 141 Laker News, as well as Ryan Libby. And looks like Craig Tully's going to take this one with ease, but little spankage for the 9 machine. That's I believe that is Ricker.
Jason Ricker, yeah, out in the outside wall. Big time damage to the right side of that car. We'll see him in the last chance for romance coming up here. 4 heat races, taking the top 4. And then we're taking some from the last chance qualifier. We're not sure. We'll let you know. But 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for the very first heat race of the Mike on the Rock 75 here tonight. Craig Tully showing he's got a fast car under his belt.
Gates really got to step it up. spotters telling them you got to get into the top 4 here to make it to the big show. You do not want to be in the LCQ. 39 drivers vying tonight. We are going to see quite a few drivers here tonight drinking beer on the couch and watching for the stands. Final lap, White Silk, White Rag out for Craig Tully in the 5 machine. Taking it home, followed by Cassidy, Murphy, and Goss. Ken Gates get it going here. About a half a second off of Goss right now. Not going to be too pretty here as the 5 comes around. 13 antagonizing the back here, but Checker is going to come out for Tully. Craig Tully, boss man of the RBR series, taking home a top qualifying spot. Probably find himself in row number 2 for the Mike on the Rock 75. Paul, a little taste of what we're seeing here. Some big names throughout this field. It's crazy. We're going to see Ricker in an LCQ.
Absolutely. Tully, Cassidy, Murphy, and Goss punch their tickets to the main event here tonight. They get an opportunity to sit back, watch a little e-racing action, and that last chance qualifier to see who's going to make the show. 24 cars going to make the field. Everybody else going to be watching along with us here on Vidane TV. But with that being said, we are all ready to kick off heat race number 2. How about a Hamburger Helper sponsored ride? The number 36 and Noel Fougere starting P1 with Brandon Newhouse, Team YRD BSB starting on the outside.
Makes you want to have a manwich. And in row number 2, that is going to be, I believe, that is Zane Farrell. He's going to be on the outside. Mike Rhino will be on the inside of row number 2 in the 34. Great to see the Rhino machine. He's going to be a top contender here tonight in the Haas.
Zane, I'm telling your girlfriend about that car. That is just awful.
Come on, what is it?
It is pretty terrible.
What?
Definitely,
is that his name?
Definitely not a U-House Racing design paint scheme, but oh yeah, the 14 car gonna make some magic happen. He's got Mike Rhino, Danny Vitchin behind him, Travis Roma, Brent Roy making the show in the 26 car, Kenny McKenzie, Ryan Messer, Mark Williams gonna round out the 10 car field. Actually, looks like Mark Williams didn't make the call. So once again, 9 cars, 8 laps. We're gonna be doing some battling here at Rockingham.
Talk about NASCAR, stock car sponsorships, the Hamburger Helper. I found Spam at Costco.
Nice. Did you grab any?
No.
Why not?
Just not there yet.
How about a 3-wide battle for the second position? 34 car going to think better of it. Mike Rhino backing up just a little bit. Brandon Newhouse, Zane Farrell, a couple of Americans, a couple of Epps drivers racing for a championship this Thursday night with an Epps League, their final race at New Hampshire. Home track for a lot of those drivers up here in the Northeast New England area of the United States. They are still side by side as they come out of turn number 4. Cross the stripe. Give it a Zane for right now. 7 laps to go. The 14 car looking strong.
Top 4 taking off from the rest of the field. Almost 3 wide here. Will Rhino make it stick here and make the 03 U-House to the sandwich, or the sandwich meat in that sandwich? But Roma off the pace here. About a half a second now as the field starts to close in just a little bit. A little wobble from the inside. Roma, Roy, Messer trying to make a move here. Roy will make the move and move into the 5th spot. About 0.2 of a second off the top 4. Trying to make the show before going to an LCQ.
6 laps still on the board. Fougere in the 36 car is checked out. Almost a 2-second leave now. U-House, Farrell, Rhino, and Roy. The top 5 taking 4 right now. Rhino on the bubble.
5 laps ago. Fougere controlling this one. Brent Roy is the man to watch right now. About 3/10 of a second off the pace from Rhino, trying to get to the 34. The 34 does not want to be in that position. Will try to make a move on the Farrell, Zane Farrell machine, who throws the block to the bottom here and stops the run for the 34. 34 spankage on the wall. That's going to upset the balance. Here comes Brent Roy in the recar machine. Could be an opportunity here for Roy from 660.
Trying to make a little magic happen in that Recar 26 machine. He's going to try and close in on the back bumper of Rhino, but Rhino's got his hands full. He's trying to get up to the back bumper of the 14 car, see if he can improve his position just a little bit. Up front, still Fougere, 2-second lead over the 03 of Brandon Newhouse.
Man, what a save from Mike Rhino, spanking the wall and managing to clear himself from the run from the 26 of Brent Roy. Roy, now 0.2 of a second now, trying to set him up here. Will be popsicle sticks in just a moment for Noel Fougere in the 36. Going to get himself a nice qualifying spot for the Mike on the Rock 75. Look at Brent Roy spanking the wall to the top side. Looking for some speed. He has it by a bumper, but Rhino fights back to the bottom. Side by side they come. Roy and Rhino fighting for that final spot here in heat race number 2.
Drag racing in circles here at Rockingham. Zane Farrell holding on to that third spot, but the battle is on the bubble. Back and forth, trading paint, final lap, white flag, white rag, 1 to go. Zane's in the wall, up in P3, still side by side for that transfer spot.
Down the backstretch, we've seen the outside with a little bit more speed. He will clear. Roy will take away the spot. Checkers out for Noel Fougere. Rhino fights back to the bottom, cuts the bottom to the yellow. Side by side, they come to the finish. It will be Brent Roy in the final spot. Farrell crosses over in front of the 26 and smash up Derby across the start finish with your top 4. Noel Fougere looking like a sharpshooter going into the main event here tonight. Uhouse, Farrell, and Roy. What a battle we just seen from Micah Rhino and Brent Roy in the 26. What a job. Once again, Paul, we're seeing a little bit of extra speed to the outside. I think that's where you want to be on that final lap.
100%. Fougere, Uhouse, Farrell, and Roy punching their tickets to the 75-lap feature here tonight, and we're getting ready to line up another feature, another heat race, rather. Woolridge, Tanton Woolridge in that 56 car. He's going to start P1. Kyle Boudreau right on the outside in the 81.
And next up, Dylan Black will have Quentin Carpenter in row number 3.
How about Wade Craswell in that 67 car starting P5 with Dale Glessner, another NEPS driver in the field, starting P6.
Next up, row number 4, Tony Wright will make up that row in the 09. He'll have Jeffrey Brown from the NEPS as from New England. He'll be in the 29 and completing the field. Joey Stiers, now we've called him quite a bit over the years, in the 23. Very familiar race. Rev Racing all the way to the tail. Let's see what he has for us.
100%, and great to see another stacked heat race here. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little iRacing action. It looks like we're having some trouble with Facebook shutting down the live stream, but we're still live on Twitch and YouTube. Be sure to check us out. Let your friends know we still got action coming up here. We've got a 75-lap feature, and before we get there, a couple more heat races and a last chance for Romance, the LCQ, to try and get the last couple of drivers punched in to the main event of the evening tonight. Taking the top 4 from the heat race into the feature here tonight, and we are ready to rock and roll. 56 down low, 81 up high. That pace car going to jump on down to the safety of pit road. We are getting ready to go. Green flag is in the air. Tanton Woolridge gets the shot already. 3, 4, 5 car lengths over the 81 car of Boudreau, heading into turn number 1.
Young gun from Prince Edward Island had some monster races in 2021 and 2022, but we got a car around at the rear of the field, still under green flag. Not sure if that was Joey Stiers. Yeah, he is called a tow truck. Stiers on pit road, still under green. Woolridge going to take it around. Got a quarter second on Kyle Boudreau.
And you can see everybody all the way up in the high side. Woo! The 08 all the way up there. Dylan Black scraping the outside safer barrier. That's going to close the gap between he and Quentin Carpenter. Quentin Carpenter holding that 16 car in that transfer spot. P4, Wade Craswell has a way to get that Miller Genuine Draft number 67 car up into the main show. He's got about a second, maybe 1.2 seconds or so to try and make up here in 6 laps to get into the top 4.
We're talking about racetracks across the Cup Series and across the Short Track Series. You know, every track has their characteristics. Here at the Rock here tonight, we're seeing a lot of speed to the top here. Reminds me, I believe it was California or not, Kyle Larson probably ran about 90 laps to the outside within a fraction of an inch off the wall. Amazing talent Kyle Larson has, and man, has he ever done a monster move since he's moved in with Hendrick Motorsports. Lots of wins under the belt, but we'll see who attempts to stay up to the top. Messer said you got to be careful up to the top. You don't want to get into it. We've seen quite a few cars spank it, but We've also seen a couple cars save it, like Mike Rano earlier on in that qualifier.
Not quite a battle for the lead, but these drivers definitely doing their homework, trying to figure out what they can do to be quicker here for the 75-lap feature coming up this evening. The 81 all over now, the back bumper of Tanton Woolridge holding on to the lead, and you can see they've got a country mile in behind them, 2.5 seconds all the way back to third. Carpenter holding on to it in the 16 car, and Black in the 08 holding on to that transfer spot for right now, but that battle's starting to heat up in a big way, and there goes the 67 of Craswell. Still trying to hold on to it. Caution comes out.
They were fighting for quite some time within about 2/100ths of a second side by side. Lots of paint being exchanged from Craswell and Dylan Black. So we're going to get a reset here, rewind the tape. Might get a little bit peak if we take it back just a little bit more. That was going on for about a half a lap.
Yeah, these drivers definitely battling hard. They want to get into the show here with the heat races. Don't want to necessarily get into the last chance qualifier because those are a dandy. But here you can see three-way battle between the 16, the 08, and the 67 car. 67 trying to get himself into the show here. Craswell rocking that Miller Genuine Draft machine. You can see the Rockstar energy drink down low, and well, the pink 16 car up in front of these two. Little side-by-side action. 08 drifts up just a little bit, gets into the rear quarter panel of Craswell. 67 misses the poop barrels, holds on to it, doesn't, taps the inside wall with the back quarter of the race car. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad, though. Going to be able to continue on in this one. Going to have to restart, though, in P6.
Single car incident. Surprised they threw the caution on that, but we did see earlier on where we had a caution car come into one of the leaders. So I guess a little bit overcautious here in the heat race. Going to bring it down to 3 to go here. Lights are out on the pace car. Reset here. One caution in heat race number 3. Tanton Woolridge, the 56, will get the hammer once again. He's been controlling this one since the beginning. Bit of a battle between himself and Kyle Boudreau. You mentioned that we got kicked off Facebook. Was that because I called you me old cock?
No, I think it was some kind of music copyright, but we haven't been playing any music, so I'm not sure what Zuckerberg's doing. But we're still live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. Tell your friends and family. Go to the Bedane TV page. Go to the Tim's Corner Motorsports page. Go to the Eastbound page. Do us a favor. Share the YouTube link. We just posted it on all of the Facebook pages. Make sure it's out there. Let everybody know. We got some feature racing. You do not want to miss 75 laps here. Mike on the Rock 75 at Rockingham. Let your friends and family know. We're going to be racing here momentarily. But green flag out. 2 laps to go. Well, 1.5 laps to go here for Tanton Woolridge. Holding on to it. Looks like it's going to be about the same as the rest of the heat race here. He's able to pull the 81 car by about a car length. He's going to cross the stripe. White flag, white rag for the young Tanton Woolridge.
Yeah, the youngster's going to get it done here again as long as it stays green. 56, Tanton Woolridge getting it done and finds himself closer to the front for the Mike on a Rock 75. Big position for the 56 to get it done here tonight. Coming around final corner. Checkered flags coming out for the 56. Tanton Woolridge from Prince Edward Island getting it done here in heat race number 3. Followed by Kyle Boudreau and Quentin Carpenter. Your final 4th spot will be Dylan Black in the 08.
Wade Craswell, Jeffrey Brown, Tony Wright, Dale Glester, Joey Stiers going to have to go on to the LCQ. The top 4 punching their ticket. Going to be racing in the 75 lapper here tonight, joining the other top 4 drivers from each of the heat races, as well as Ryan Libby and Rational Richard Drake, the top 2 single lap qualifiers. But how about this front row for this heat race number 4? Matthew Barkhouse going to start P1, and right on the outside, his brother, Magic Mike Alexander.
Big names in this one. Scott Negus is going to be the next one up. He'll have Craig Kinney to the outside in the 90 in row number 2. Cores.
Brody Lewis in the 22 car going to start P5, and Tim Horton's brother, Dave, going to start that 73 car P6.
Ashton Tucker from the Maritime Pro Stock Tour will have Caden Tufts to the outside in the 88.
And starting shotgun on the field, the 017. Looks like it's going to be the 7 on your screen. Another Neps driver jumping on into the TCM action. Keith Lord starting shotgun on the field here for heat race numero 4.
Lordy, lordy, look who's 40.
I'm not sure how old he is. He might be 40.
I just wanted to say it. What a front row. Two brothers going to go at it. They don't share the same last name, but from the family, two close brothers. 75. Magic Mike to the outside, Barkhouse to the bottom. And the 15, man, these guys can get it done. We'll see what happens here and transpires. Who will get the better position in the start for the Mike on the Rock 75. 8 on the board. Barkhouse with the hammer. Here we go.
Getting ready to do battle once again. Again, taking the top 4 drivers from the feature, going into the main event of the evening. And that pace car going to jump on down to the safety of pit road here as we come out of 3 and 4, I think. There he goes. Lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Giving a quick wave to the flag man, and there's the jump for the 15 of Barkhouse. Clears his brother, Magic Mike Alexander, in the 75. Single file for the front 2. Side by side, though, for P3.
Negas to the bottom here. We'll have a battle with the 22 of Lewis. Kenny, my apologies. Kenny will clear and take over that P3. Look at the battle mid-pack here. Horton, Tufts, and Lord. Lord going to pick up one on Ashton Tucker, but spanks the wall to the top side. That's going to make him fall back here, unfortunately. Actually, that's the 88. My apologies. New color scheme for me. Caden Tufts spanks the wall. He's going to find himself to the rear by 4 seconds on the leader.
Tough break for Caden Tufts in the 88 car. Looks like a Dale Jarrett throwback with that color scheme. I might be completely wrong on that. But Mike Alexander still holding on to second. Kenny holding on now to third. Scott Negus has that transfer spot in the 93 course ride. Brody Lewis trying to chase him down, but it looks like he's got a mirror full of that Crystal Pepsi number 73 car of Dave Horton trying to rock him down.
Man, do you remember Crystal Pepsi?
Is that the Pepsi that was made with real sugar?
I gotta Google it.
Might have been a little bit before my time.
It was the 80s.
It is a little bit before my time. I only caught the back end of the 80s. But up front, still Matthew Barkhouse making it look easy in that 15 tide ride. You can see he's already got about 0.6 of a second lead over Magic Mike Alexander in that 75 car. Beautiful Xander Zines paint scheme on that. And the Valvoline number 90 car of Greg Kenny holding on to P3. And Scott Negus still in that transfer spot. We're drinking Coors in that 93 camp.
Crystal Pepsi made with crystal meth. No caramel food coloring. So you could see through it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very acidic tasting. I guess so. Crystal meth is not good for your teeth.
Well, that was a little bit of an incident there. That's going to bring out the caution flag. There it flies. A little multi-car incident there. Dave Horton involved, as well as a couple of other drivers. Going to take a peek here now at the U-House Race Designs instant replay and find out exactly what went down. Couple of drivers kind of going for the same piece of real estate, it looked like here, but we're going to take another peek at it because that's what we do here at Vidane TV. The 22, the 73, and the 7 all right in a spot. You can see the 7 comes off the corner and just kind of gets into the back quarter panel of the 73, sends them on up into the 22 car, and you can see a couple of cars getting some damage. Doesn't look like anything terminal, so these guys will be able to get back out on track for sure, but going to be a little bit of a damage, and it's going to be a tough row to hoe to try and get up to the top 4 here with a green-white checkered here in heat race number 4, but there's always that last chance qualifier.
Last chance qualifier is not where you want to be in this one. 40 drivers, 39 drivers to be exact, fighting for this one. Several going to be sitting on the couch or in the grandstand, sipping on some Coors. Matthew Barkhouse going to have the hammer once again against his brother. Mike Alexander to the outside. We'll see if Alexander can get to the door and pinch him to the bottom. Mom's not going to be happy.
Everybody lined up 2 by 2
pinch your
all
brother.
the way through. Lights off of the iRacing pace car. Going to be dipping on down to the safety of pit road once we get out of turn number 4. And still Barkhouse, still Alexander up front. Kenny and Negus in row 2. But Tufts and Lord going to restart there in row 3. And they can see now that transfer spot right in front of them. So you're going to be interesting to see what goes on here in this final restart. Well, what could be the final restart?
Off-topic question. Do you like the classic numbers position or the new Cup Series look? Number to the front.
It depends on the paint scheme. It really does. It depends. Yeah. It depends on the paint scheme for sure.
I'm not sure which Cup team, but they had a lot of words down the side of one of their race cars this weekend. So there were some slick-looking ones in Phoenix, and there were some nasty ones as well. But 2 to go here. Matthew Barkhouse gets the hammer. He'll control this one. Alexander about 0.4 of a second off, 3.5 tenths of a second. As Alexander tries to get up there, White Silk's out for Barkhouse. He's going to try to take it home. Your top 4 is going to be Kenny and Lord in that 3 and 4 spot. Coming around down the back stretch into 2 more corners. Barkhouse trying to control this one.
Holding on to it as they get into 3 and 4. Looks like all Barkhouse all the time here in heat race number 4. Mike Alexander going to cross the stripe there in P2. Craig Kenny going to P3. Keith Lord makes it on up to P4 in that 7 car. Ooh, big hit for Tufts in the 88 car. Luckily, the race was over.
Send it!
He sent it in a big way. And we'll take a quick peek at the results there. You see it. Barkhouse, Alexander, Kenny, and Lord going to be heading on down to the big show. And we got a couple of drivers that are going to be running in the last chance qualifier. And it looks like here, Mike, we've got at least the first of the last chance qualifiers getting lined up here with 11 cars.
I think Tuff sent it, have you seen that video? I don't know where it was, but it was one of those Tesla plaids went up a hill and hopped and destroyed a Tesla there the other day. Did you see that video?
I did not see that video, but it looks like we've got Tim. Tim might have seen that video.
What video are we talking about?
We're not sure. Tell us what's going on.
Tesla.
Are we talking about the one from Carboneer?
No, those ladies got their own WWE intro.
Oh, there you go. 2 consies, 10 laps, taking 3 from each. So the podium moves on to the feature.
What's that?
And there you can see the lineup on your screen, taking the top 3 from these 2 last chance qualifiers, and they're going to be joining the rest of the field, taking 24 in the big show. And you can see Derek Gates, Wade Craswell going to start on row number 1.
Big names in this one. Chris Roma will be on the inside of row number 2. Jeffrey Brown from New England from the NEPS series. He'll make up that row number 2 to the outside.
Another NEPS driver starting in behind them. Magnum Mike Hopkins in the 78 car going to start P5 with Tony Wright, the 09, starting 6th.
A lot of Americans in this one. Jason Ricker in the 9. He'll be on the inside of row number 4. Dale Glesner on the outside in the 11.
Todd Tufts, Joey Steers, and Corey Hallett going to round out the 11 cars here for the last chance qualifier numero 1. Going to take the top 3 and move them into the 75 lap feature, joining everybody else that's already made the show. Green flag flies once again. Derek Gates going to get a little bit of a jump side by side still throughout the rest of the field.
We're used to seeing some 20 lap LCQs. This one's going to be a tight one. Only 10 laps. Top 3. We've seen LCQs with 6 going to the show. So this one's going to be a wild one as we see our top 3. Gates, Roma, and Hopkins holding on to that 3. Craswell on the outside looking in. They are going to get it going early on this one because time is not on their hands.
That is the battle for position. Magnum Mike Hopkins in the 78 car going to move into that spot. Little side-by-side action now between Craswell and Ricker for 4th spot, but they need to get around that 78 of Mike Hopkins if they've got a shot to make the show. Todd Tufts, big-time crash in the 88. He's going to back up. Looks like we're still going to stay green. Those top 2 drivers, though, they are checking out. Derek Gates, Chris Roma pulling away from the field.
8 to go. Ricker exchanging paint with Craswell. Ricker looks like he has the advantage coming into this one. Oh no, the 67 fights back. Ricker into the wall, and here comes the 10. That is not a good scene for the 9 of Ricker. He's going to be way off the pace here now as Craswell moves into the outside of the window, we'll call it. Hopkins on the inside, but he's going to take one away from the 24 Gates. That is not the position you want to be here in an LCQ. The 24 fighting back in the rear car. The 24 does not want to be in that spot either.
And you can see Magnum Mike Hopkins moves himself into P2 in that 78 car, trying to pull in on Roma. 6 laps to go at the line side by side for that transfer spot. Wade Craswell in the 67 has it. The 24 car wants it. Derek Gates doing everything he can to try and use that bottom side to get around the Miller Genuine Draft number 67 car to see if he can make the 75 lap feature here tonight.
I think I'm the only Mike that you know that you don't call Magic Mike, but is that because I don't have a stripper body?
Yes.
Let's go streaking!
No streaking, only racing. 5 laps to go here in this one. Last chance qualifier. 2 LCQ races, taking the podium finishers for each of them into the main show here tonight. And we're excited to have the action here on Vidane TV. Again, having some issues with the Facebook feed. Let your friends and family know you're watching the feed over on YouTube. We got it kicked up. Hey, if you got a smart TV, talking on the remote, tell them Vidane TV on YouTube pops right up. Beautiful on the big screen, watching the TCM Special Event here, the Mike on the Rock 75. Only a couple races left here in the iRacing season coming up, and we're going to be going real racing here soon, but we got 4 laps to go in this one.
Well, Tim's going to be a busy man. He's going to be all over the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada, just getting back from the U.S. as we take a peek at that battle of the 67 and the 78 of Hopkins. Man, oh man. Oh, and the 67 going to come around. Craswell, lots of damage with the 24. That's going to shake it up with 3 to go here. You're going to have to rewind the tape on this one. As it was on the screen, though, we've seen the battle, but you want to put that one in slow-mo.
100%, because we saw the drivers battling side by side. We'll take a peek here. A little slow-mo action here for the U-House Race Design instant replay. You can see side by side at the line. Magnum Mike Hopkins in the 78 up on the top side. Wade Craswell down on the bottom. Everything looking good as they head on down into the corner. You can see all of them chasing down Chris Roma in that 83 car. The 67 looks like it came up just a hair, and man, oh man, there is just enough room to put a piece of paper in between those 2 cars. The 67 hard into the outside wall, and there you can see the 78 of Mike Hopkins spinning, not spinning, holding on to it, drifting that thing, holding on to it straight. He saves it. How about that save for Magnum Mike Hopkins in the 78?
You gotta stop calling everybody Magic Mike. You're making me feel jealous.
So he's Magnum Mike Hopkins. That's his nickname.
Magnum. I thought you've been saying Magic.
No, that's Mike Alexander.
Oh well,
you gotta get all your mics in a row.
I'm a dummy.
Lights are off on the top of the iRacing pace car. Getting ready to battle once again. I didn't argue back. Mike Hopkins on the outside. Chris Roma down on the bottom. The 24 car. He's got that transfer spot. Dale Glessner wants it. Jason Ricker wants it. Wright wants it. Tony Wright, top 6 drivers still out on track. Wade Craswell, Jeffrey Brown, they got a lot of damage on their race cars. Todd Cuffs, big incident earlier on. He's done. Corey Hallett, Joey Steers, both of them, they're done. So we've got 6 drivers now, Mikey. 3 laps to go. A little green-white checkered action. We're only taking 3 to the big house.
Keep an eye on that 9. Jason Ricker on the inside of row number 3. I got a feeling he's going to try to make it 3 wide here on the start. Will he be able to time this one out? He tries to get to the middle to have a peek to the front, looking for a clear sight of our hammer. Here comes Roma with the hammer here. 9 and half car in there in row number 3, trying to time it. But here we go. Off to the races. It's all Roma on this one.
All Roma all the time. Mike Hopkins all over the back bumper now, trying to see if he can better his position by 1 and get to the point. Dale Glessner gets around Ricker. Top 4 drivers in a line, but Glessner, Ricker trying to get down low around Glessner. As we got a battle for the lead, this is heating up in a big way.
Ricker's going to send it on the final lap here. 1 to go. White silks out for Chris Roma. Big battle between him and the 78 of Hopkins. But the 10 is going to try to hold on. Glessner trying not to be on the wrong side of this one as Ricker's going to try to send it down the backstretch. It's all Roma into turn 3 and 4. Ricker off the pace by about 3 car lengths. Will he have enough to send it here? I don't think so. It's going to be Roma, Hopkins, and Glessner going to the main show for the Mike on the Rock 75. First LCQ, only 3 making it to the show.
1, 2, 3, and there we are. Finishing results of heat rate or last chance qualifier numero uno. Roma, Hopkins, Glessner, like you said, they're racing in the big show here tonight. 75 laps on the docket. Everybody else on your screen right now, on that right-hand side or in the center of your screen, they're going to be watching on Vidane TV. And again, we're going to be watching that on YouTube. Unfortunately, having some issues.
Drinking beer.
Drinking beer, and Vidane TV always reminds you to drink responsibly. Having some issues with the
and
Facebook feed.
19.
So make sure, 21 here in the States, but nobody's counting. Make sure you let your friends and family know we are live on YouTube, the Verdane TV YouTube page. Smash that subscribe button while you're there. We've got a lot of action coming up here in the next couple of months, and Mike Rhino knows a thing or two about action. He's got Caden Tufts on the outside of him. Rev Racing versus BSRM Factory, gonna be a dandy up in the front row.
Big names in this LCQ. Last chance for romance for Travis Roma and Brody Lewis in row number 2.
How about row number 3? Kenny McKenzie in the 85 car going to start on the inside. Scott Negus in that 93 Coors car going to start P6.
Ryan Messer with a win earlier on in the Eastbound eSports in race number 2. He'll have the Pro Stock driver Ashton Tucker to the outside in the 2 machine.
Danny Vitch, Dave Horton, and Mark Williams going to round out the 11-car field here for LCQ number 2. And we're going to be taking the top 3 podium finishers to the big show. Everybody else going to be watching at home, or at the track anyway, from the YouTube feed on Verdane TV. Green flag flies. Mike Rhino, Caden Tufts side by side, heading on down. Looks like Caden Tufts was able to judge that start just like he needed to, because he is holding on in a big way up on that high side. Oh, big slide for Rhino right up in front of the 88 of Caden Tufts. He holds on to it. Tufts didn't like that. He's going to shoot down to the apron, try and get around and take that lead.
Beautiful battle out in front, the 34 and Tufts going at it here. A little crossover in between each other, fighting back and forth. Tufts going to check it up into P2. Tries the high side. Look at this, all the way back. I believe that was Negus or Vitch actually into the wall. So lots of activity throughout the field. Everybody's got to get it going. Only 10 on the board to start this one. 3 are going to the show. Right now, Rhino, Tufts, and Roma are on that podium. Messer on the outside looking in. He's going to be one to watch. McKenzie also the one to watch in the 85.
Rhino, Tufts, and Roma, as you said, you can see lined up, single file, car down to the inside. It looks like we're going to stay green. Messer doing everything he can to try and get that one car up into this battle. He wants to at least be a part of the story to try and get into it. But right now, Mike Rhino, Caden Tufts, and Roma going to be in the show. But we still have 7 laps to go in the LCQ2.
Looks like McKenzie might have got tangled up with Negus there. But what a great save to stay in the show here in that 6th spot. But 0.8 of a second off Negus. Messer only about 0.4 of a second off that window on Travis Roma in the 38 as Messer looks to the high side. He's seen it earlier on in his win. He's seen lots of speed to the top side here. Will he be able to slingshot it here at the Rock? 6 to go here. It's all Mike Rhino up front in the 34.
And those top 3 drivers pulling away just a little bit. Ryan Messer trying to use that high side, rim riding all the way around this racetrack. We've seen that high line make a lot of magic happen here tonight. Very fast up on that high line, but he's got 5 laps to go, a fistful of them, and you can see closing into the back bumper of the 38 of Travis Roma, but loses the back end just a little bit. He's going to utilize it. He is going to take that run, close almost all the way up to the back of the 38, and when he comes out of turns 3 and 4, as long as he doesn't scrape the wall here, he's going to be a part of the show. He is going to be a part of the story at the very least. He is now bumper almost up to the outside door there, the 38 car. That Ryan Messer machine is bad fast.
I don't think the rest of the field, I haven't been listening to the broadcast. We've been talking about the top side. Messer already proved it earlier on in the eSports for Eastbound. Now, side by side, will be at the edge here. We'll take that spot away from Travis Roma. Roma to the bottom. We'll try to fight back, but look at that. Messer will clear here and now set his sights on Caden Tufts. You do not want to be in that 3rd spot with the final lap to come here. Roma fighting back. You do not want that bumper in turn 4 as we draw this one out. 3 to go here in the LCQ. Top 3 making it to the show.
We got to take a peek at the cockpit here for the 1 car of Ryan Messer. He has been driving that thing down the racetrack. You can see he enters in real high. The car gets a little bit loose, and he just hammers that steering wheel down to the left side, drives it down the banking, and he gets a massive run coming out of 2, coming out of 4, and you can see he's going to try and utilize that all over the back bumper of Caden Tufts, trying to get around him. He's in the show right now. He wants to better his spot. He wants to show him who's boss. That 1 car very, very quick here as we get the white flag for Mike Rhino.
White Rag out for Mike Reynolds, but great to see inside the machine of the one for Ryan Messer. Half car and getting all the way to the top of the wall. Here's the crossover for P2. Little package off the wall of the 88. Will the 88 hold on as they come into 3 and 4? Rhino coming to checkers here, side by side. Messer and Tufts come to the checkers.
Exactly what Mike Rhino wanted to see in the last lap. He's going to take that checkered flag. Thank you very much. He's going to be racing in the 75 lapper, as is Tufts, as is Messer. Everybody else going to be watching here live on Verdane TV. 75 laps here for the Mike on the Rock 75, and it is going to be a dandy.
We're going streaking.
We're not going streaking.
It's Frank the Tank, man. Old school.
Little bit of a warm-up here, a final minute or so, 60
I need
seconds
a warm-up
on the clock to try and get the last kinks worked out. And these drivers, man, this is going to be a heck of a race. 24 cars in the field, and we've seen some great racing from the Twin 22s all the way up through the heat races here for the TCM Mike on the Rock 75, a couple of LCQ races, and now it's big main event time. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here live on Verdane TV. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth with my brother from another mother, Mike on the Rock, or Mike from the Rock, Mike James from up in Eastbound. The Rock up there, there's a boat. You got to take a boat to get there somehow. I don't know. But it's great to have you here listening in, tuning in here, watching some iRacing action. Only a couple of iRacing events left on the TCM schedule for the year, for the season. And we're going to be doing some real racing in the Maritimes and down in New England here where I'm based out of, and all the way across the country to North America. And it's getting warmer out. Go outside, go to your local short tracks, but don't go anywhere yet. We're going racing. We got 75 laps on the docket. How about Richard Drake, Ryan Libby? We haven't talked about them since qualifying. Those guys, top 2 qualifying times, they're going to start P1 and P2.
I'm still thinking about you calling me brother from a different mother. Does that mean our dad is cool?
He's got to be cool. My dad's kind of cool.
Lineup coming up here at the Rock. Mike on the Rock 75. 75 big one's going to be on the line here. Rational Richard Drake, the 141 Laker News, going to get that pole like you said. Ryan Libby with a win already under his belt. The Lone America on the front row, the 46.
Craig Tully, the boss man for the RBR Maritime Group, just wrapped up their season number 4. Already into season number 5. Craig Tully in the 5 car going to start inside row number 2. And the Hamburger Helper ride, Noel Fougere in the 36 going to start P4.
And in row 3, heat race number 3 and 4 winners. Tanton Woolridge from Prince Edward Island in the 56. He'll have Matthew Barkhouse in the 15 to the outside.
Pole sitter for the original Twin 22 race, Dave Cassidy in the 13. Tinder Captain Morgan ride. Going to be starting P7. Brandon Uhouse in the Uhouse Race Designs number 03. Little junior motorsports throwback in that car. He's going to be starting P8.
Don't swipe right. Kyle Boudreau will make up the inside of row number 5. He'll have Mike Alexander, the real Magic Mike, in the 75 machine. He'll complete your top 10.
Conrad Murphy in the 89 car going to start P11, and the 14 car of Zane Farrell going to start on P12.
And next up in row number 7, Quentin Carpenter will have Craig Kenny to the outside.
Jason Goss going to start 13th. Brent Roy 16th. Dylan Black, Keith Lord, Chris Roma, Mike Rhino, Mike Hopkins, Caden Tufts, Ryan Messer, Dale Glessner going to wrap up the field. Green flag is flying. The Rash is taking off. Rational Richard Drake in the Laker News 141 has about 3 or 4 car lengths over Ryan Libby. But there you can see Libby making that bottom work for him all the way down on that yellow line. Going to drive all the way up to the outside wall. Trying to do everything he can to get to the back bumper of the Rational Richard Drake machine.
Boy, did 46 Ryan Libby study turn 1 and 2 in the first couple of races here. Look at the spot he got himself there coming out of turn 2. Picked up a lot of real estate as the 141 shot out of a cannon. Had 5 or 6 car lengths, but Libby chopped it in half coming out of 1 and 2 with that drop down. 2 laps completed here. Single file they come. Barkhouse find himself in a P4 with Noel Fougere out front by about 2/10 on him. Tully will complete your top 5, and then next up, the 56, a Woolridge, Uhouse, Alexander, Boudreau, and Cassidy. 03 dropping to the bottom here, looking for a spot on the 56 of Tanton Woolridge.
Dave Cassidy up into the outside wall, just barely in that number 13 ride. He's going to hold on to it, drop a couple of positions. Here you can see, I believe that's Magnum Mike Hopkins on the side of the 14 car. It might not be. I'm not sure. I don't know where that paint scheme came from. I'm going to have to yell at Zane for that after the fact. But the 89 car all over the back bumper of the 14 89 of Conrad Murphy, trying to make a little magic happen, get himself into the top 10. But you already made mention, Richard Drake is driving away. He's already got a half a second lead over Ryan Libby, and that's not something you say very often. Ryan Libby, definitely a student of the game. Been iRacing for a very long time. One of the quicker drivers here on the short tracks, and we see him a lot in the TCM events as well as the NEPS New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group. Very fast iRacer and running P2 right now. Brent Roy is going the wrong way.
Sharp looking paint scheme from Brent Roy in the 26 for the Brand Re car. But we're going to stay on the green, so he's going to fall back, but pick it up here. No damage as he went a little landscaping on the front stretch here. Rational Richard Drake still controlling this one by almost 0.6 of a second here. Big gapage between Ryan Libby and our next car, Noel Fougere, about almost 0.8 of a second here. Bit of a separation now in our groups as we take the overshot from the Goodyear blimp as we look down. Look at the slide job. We talked about some of the drivers earlier on, how they were fine in turn 3 and 4. A little slick here at the Rock here tonight.
100%. Libby struggling with the handling on that 46 car. Ran through the entire turn there, up into the outside wall. That's going to slow him down in a big way. You can see dropping on back to P5. He's up into the outside wall. He's on the side. He's not doing good.
Tire went down?
I'm not sure what happened to that 46 car.
He's freestyling.
He's doing something. Still green flag.
Is he going to flip 24-degree banking? He's going to flip him here.
That is a tough break. Ryan Libby going to hit that reset button and call the virtual tow truck.
No
that
caution.
Is a tough break for the 46 car.
Car upside down. Does that qualify for caution?
And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But we did talk to Tim earlier on in the show. Single car incidents, we're going to let it slide just a little bit. So that is exactly what Rational Richard Drake wanted to see. He's got himself 1.3 seconds now over P2. It's going to be Matthew Barkhouse, Noel Fougere running in P3, Craig Tully, Brandon Newhouse running in the top 5. And we've made mention a couple of times of the NEP Series, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group, the Shift Marketing and Design's Grand National Series, having their championship race here this Thursday night on Bedane TV at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And make sure you check out New Hampshire Motor Speedway's Cup weekend in July. Tim's Corner Motorsports going to be a big part of the dirt duels on Friday night. Check out timscorner.ca for all that information. But one of the drivers in the NEP Series having a little bit of trouble earlier on, not making the show, but still hanging out here with us. Jeff Brown in the booth. How we doing, Jeff?
Doing well, Paul. Doing a little bit better, I guess, than our poor friend Ryan Libby. Ryan had the steering wheel fall off his desk, and that pretty much ended his night. So hence his little miscue is NEP bad luck extending here tonight. But we've got a good contingent out. We're hoping to see one of our guys. Of course, little fanboy action. We'd like to see one of our boys out front, but we'll see what happens.
Highest running NEP driver going to be Newhouse in the 03 car running P5 right now. Rational Richard Drake holding on to it. Little side-by-side action between Fougere and Barkhouse. And we've seen some phenomenal battles out of these two. Very respectable drivers going back and forth. And Jeff, we're going to have you hang out here in the booth and call a little freeway action up here if you're down for it.
Oh, absolutely. Like to check in, like to see how these guys do. This is my second time trying to get into a TCM event. So maybe we'll see what happens at Talladega next week.
100.
Freeway, I'm happily married.
I'm not. Says the guy that says we're going streaking after the fact.
Hey, my wife streaks.
But I digress. Rational Richard Drake, a second and a half over Barkhouse. You can see still battling with Fougere there for a second. Craig Tully, the boss man for the RBR Maritime Group, holding on to that P4, and Brandon Newhouse right in there with the top 5. And Jeff, I got to ask, we've seen a lot of these drivers kind of lose the back end a little bit. Looks like handling is a big issue here in the corners, especially in traffic. Can you tell us kind of what you've felt, what you've experienced throughout the racing here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. This is a very challenging track, and the ARCA platform here has never been, it's a little bit of a struggle. You're holding on to it. You certainly don't get the drive that you do with some of the more modern cars, but you're in there on those General tires just trying to stay hooked to the track, and it can be quite the challenge at times. You you don't have the same drive in, drive off that you do with some of these newer cars here.
And you can see the gap up front changing down just a little bit. So 1.3 seconds now. The gap. Barkhouse and Fougere are battling side by side for second, and they're still reeling in the leader.
Yeah, Fougere's putting on a bit of a show in 2022, having a strong season that we've seen so far in a lot of these TCM events. I believe he's got compiled quite a few points throughout 2021 and 2022. So big night for him here as they go toe-to-toe. 15 of Barkhouse still hanging on to that P2, but Fougere getting a full shot at it here at the bottom.
17 laps down, 75 on the docket here tonight. Drake still pulling away, still getting that lead shrunken just a little bit. And I got to ask you, Jeff, there's another question. Speaking of struggling, the 14 car, what's going on with that paint scheme?
Funny backstory there was when we ran over our season finale last year. Dylan Kopech put that masterpiece together for Zane, and I already had vision problems. You know, my eyes aren't the greatest already. I'm wearing glasses, and I definitely need them after seeing that car. It is an atrocity to all that is considered good design.
It's kind of almost a call back. I made a return to iRACING years and years ago. Steve Lavender, the creator of Trading Paints, and the founder of iRACING way back when it was a high school project years and years and years ago. It was hard to think high school was so long ago, but I digress again. But yeah, he said I should come out and race with him, and he's like, I told him I don't have a car. He said, well, I'll paint one up for you. Don't look at it, just load it up. We'll get it on the trailer for you. Get in the car. It was a number 48. I hate Jimmy Johnson. I'm not a fan. It was a number 48 Strawberry Mountain Dew Tampax pink and white car. So I got to drive that to a P87 finish like I usually do. But still great to see that iRacers have a little bit of a sense of humor, and I guess it's kind of an okay-looking race car.
Yeah, Dylan Kopech designed it. Actually, he has his own design business. Leave it to the artist to purposely make a bad car. But Dylan actually had a matching ride of his own, and I managed to run over that matching ride with about 10 laps to go in that feature. So it was, it is iRacing. You take it seriously. You want to do well, but you got to have a little fun too.
Speaking of taking it seriously, Mikey, how about this battle for second? That's going to be joining the battle for the lead. Matthew Barkhouse, Noel Fougere battling for second place. They've reeled in the leader. 0.4 of a second. You can see just a couple of car lengths. Oh, Barkhouse up into the wall just a little bit. Doesn't even look like it slowed him down at all.
Yeah, I think that pressure between the two of them has really stepped him up to catch the rational Richard Drake here, as the 36 and the 15 really are pushing each other at this point within hundredths of a second here as they go side by side across the start-finish line as they get close to the 1/3 mark here. This is the show here tonight. Rational and Richard Drake's going to enter that picture. It's going to be a three-way battle coming into the 1/3 mark.
Definitely got some guys back there kind of hoping for a caution. We got Mike Hopkins and Brent Royer caught up in an incident earlier, and the two of them are just kind of praying for that yellow flag to come out and let them catch up.
Now, Jeff, coming into tonight, 75 laps on the board. We've seen two twin 22s. I don't know if you were paying attention to the eSports from Eastbound. What do you think the tire strategy pit road activity is going to be as we get closer to throughout this one?
I'm going to say, unfortunately, I missed the earlier features, but I would say it's going to be, you're going to want to hang on to that set of tires until probably about 25 laps to go, I'd say. But it's all going to be where the cautions fall. I don't think you're going to take the risk of pitting under green. I can't imagine. I mean, it's possible. I didn't get a good fuel run in practice, but I would say if you can make it to the end on fuel, why take the chance? I mean, somebody's going to take a chance and stay out. But that said, we've seen what these cars can do to tires at California and NEP last year. So they can be a little destructive at times.
Now, earlier on in race number 2, we've seen pretty much 3/4 of the field come down pit road, which was an oddity with 22 laps on the board. Man, did the tires ever make a difference with 5 to go? The 3 out front that did not take tires ended up basically falling all the way back to the rear of the field.
Yeah, if you have a caution at the end of this thing, you are going to want those fresh tires. There's no question about it.
Well, Noel Fougere taking a peek here now. He is your new leader. He's going to get around Rational Rich Drake. Lots of speed. Rational came out of the jumped out of the cannon at the beginning. Lots of battles behind there from P2 back, which slowed down the rest of the field. But look at that, Fougere throwing down monster runs here, monster laps here. Now 7/10 on Rational Richard Drake, who is now caught up battling with Matthew Barkhouse.
Craig joining.
Gotta wonder if they're.
Craig Tully joining the fight there as well. The number 5 car, the RBR boss. He's holding on to it. And Dave Cassidy way farther on back, 4.2 seconds back behind the leader there. So it's getting a little bit stretched out throughout the rest of the field, but those top 4 drivers pretty much right there, nose to tail.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, as Fougere's pulling away, I got to wonder, is that pack from 2nd through 4th, are they saving their tires right now, or is Fougere the one that saved a little bit early and now he's able to drive away now?
Whatever it is, he's managed to put on some monster lap times here with 29 completed, but one driver we haven't talked a lot about, Mike Rhino, coming out of the LCQ, finds himself to be the hard charger here. Take a peek at your 9th spot, the 34, Mike Rhino, picking up 11 spots as well. Actually, we'll give that a tiebreaker. Ryan Messer picking up 11 spots as well. He finds himself in P13. So 2 drivers with big runs here from the LCQ.
And you can see a little side-by-side battle. Mike Rhino side-by-side with the young Bandolero driver, Tanton Woolridge in the 56 car. Swapping that position back and forth at the line, give it to the 56, but Mike Rhino going to make that high line work for him. He's going to tuck into the tire tracks right now of Woolridge, but he is going to try and make that high side work. He's going to jump down to the bottom side, and it's always cool to me here at Rockingham to see what these drivers are doing, and I can never, as a driver, I can never figure it out, and well, sometimes as a commentary guy, I can't figure it out either, but as a driver, I can never figure it out. These guys are going high, driving down the banking, making these huge runs. You can see huge run for the 34 car. He's going to get right up to the back bumper there of Tanton Woolridge, and now he's going to go up to the high side, and just it's astounding to me that the way these guys are able to kind of combine the lines and make things work and drive what works for them. And you can see the 34 car going high, wide, and handsome again, just like us here in the booth, and trying to make the magic happen, close in that into the 9th spot, holding on to P10 for right now.
Yeah, it looks like we see a lot of cars coming into the pits. I see Quentin Carpenter's coming out of the pits now. We'll see what he can do with some fresh tires.
4 takers.
A couple of drivers coming down. A couple of drivers involved with earlier incidences there. Brandon Uhouse still hanging out in the 03 car. It looks like he's still sitting in the car, so that's good. That's a good thing. He might get back out there, turn some laps, but how about this battle for second, heating up just a little bit? The Rational Richard Drake, the Laker News 141 machine, dropping back to P3 as Matthew Markhouse in a tide ride gets on around him. Craig Tully now going to take a peek down on the bottom side, see if he can move into a podium spot.
Getting close to that halfway point, Paul, as we see a little wobble from the 15, upset the car, but he's managed to squeeze out of it there and retain himself. The 141 not taking advantage, but look at that. Tully checking up, surged to the back bumper to 141, decided to let off the gas. But here we go, halfway point for the Mike on the Rock 75. How about we crank it up, Paul?
Oh, I've been waiting all night for you to say
those
that.
volumes up. Turn them up.
All the way up. Let the neighbors know you're watching Vidane TV. Here we go. all the way around this racetrack. Action all over the place, and we are in the second half, and Noel Fougere is in the third half. He has checked out almost 5 seconds now over Matthew Barkhouse, picking up these lap times and putting them back down. That 36 hamburger helper ride is bad fast.
Yeah, I don't know what he ate for his breakfast, but
Probably hamburger helper.
Definitely maybe some Wheaties or something, or some pep talk from Michael Jordan and the 23X team. But launching himself, once he got clear of Rational Richard Drake, 5-second monster lead over Barkhouse now. Like you said earlier, Jeff, a lot of these drivers were waiting for that caution, but we've been caution-free on this one. Could this go the distance? You talk about...
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, look at that. Announcer curse.
Dang it, Mike.
Brent Roy's like, God damn it, thank you.
Tough break. Caution flag number 1 flies here on lap 41. Looks like Brent Roy. Looks like Zane Farrell may very well be involved. We're going to pull up the U-House Race Design instant replay and find out what the heck happened.
I did it.
Apparently Mike did it.
I pressed the button.
Press the button.
NASCAR button.
Press the NASCAR button. And there you can see Brent Roy having issues here in the 26 car as he's getting lapped by our leader. And it's not to say the 26 car is slow, but these leaders are really picking him up and putting him down. Focusing on that recar, the black and green number 26 car here. Everything looks good and heading into the corner. He's right in behind, not battling for a position. Shoots down low. He must have come down pit road to get some tires because he just drove around the 141 like he was standing still, and then he went up into the wall like he was standing still. That is a wheel sticking out of his hood. That is a hard hit for that 26 car. And
I've never seen that before.
Tough break there, and we can see Zane Farrell involved in a separate incident at the exact same time. He's battling it out with the 7 and the 88 there of Tatum Tufts, and as the caution flag comes down, and we're going to come back to pit road here live because pit road is a hop in place. There you can see a little bit of contact between the 7 and the 14. Tatum Tufts barely misses the nose, but as we come back to the live shot down on pit road, it is a busy place. Noel Fougere going to win the race off pit road. Barkhouse in second, Rational Richard Drake going to be third, Craig Tully fourth, Stanton Woldridge fifth, and everybody else is fifth on back.
Now, Jeff, do you take 2 or do you go for the 4 on that pit stop?
I would say at this point you go for the 4. I mean, everybody's kind of in, you're thinking Days of Thunder. Everybody's got a pit, Cole. Everybody's got to come in and get tires at this point. You come in and get 2, you might be a hero for 2 laps, but everybody's just kind of skating around at that point.
I love the reference, especially here at The Rock, home of Days of Thunder, Cold Trickle. We talked earlier, Jeff, in the broadcast. What do you think the chances are of Cold Trickle on the top of the box for Days of Thunder 2?
Oh God! I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, not a lot of drivers. I think it might be a little unrealistic. You don't see a lot of drivers with huge success that eventually transition to a crew chief role from the cup deal. But I mean, this is Hollywood we're talking about. You don't see a lot of cars that get pushed out with a bad transmission and come back to win the Daytona 500 either. So when you've got a script in hand, all logic goes out the window.
I'm going to reference tires. Your way, my way.
I don't know. I wouldn't buy Tom Cruise as a crew chief myself, but at the same time, hey, what you got? Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise.
He's an instructor.
I saw it described very well that what made Tom Cruise's role in Tropic Thunder so intriguing is it's one of the few movies where he doesn't actually play Tom Cruise.
That's accurate. True. That's accurate. That's one of my favorite movies because of Tom Cruise. That's just a phenomenal character. I don't even remember his name.
I watched that movie. I didn't even know it was Tom Cruise until someone said it after I watched it. I don't know why.
That's what makes it great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those scenes where I really wish I could repeat it on live on the air, but we try and keep things at least PG-13, and there's a lot of bad words in that movie.
We got racers in the field that are under 18. We got to watch our mouths here.
Exactly.
We're from Newfoundland. We're pirates. It's Mike on the Rock. We're allowed to say me old cock.
Well, apparently Mark Zuckerberg didn't like that because he shut down our Facebook stream, but thanks to everybody out here
watching. Old English, man. You're my best friend.
Me too. Lap 46 as we cross the stripe. Thanks for tuning in. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., Mike James from Up on the Rock, and Jeff Brown from the Net Series jumping on in. 3-man in the booth. 3 in the booth here for the final 30 laps.
3 in the booth.
Mike on the Rock, 75 here at Rockingham, the non-manufacturer-specific pace car. Going to jump on down to the safety of pit road. Hamburger Helpter going to get going, and Tide is all over the racetrack. He gets a little bit squirrely in that 15 car. He holds on to it, but that's going to open the door for Rational Richard Drake.
Fougere got a great jump there. Great jump there.
I don't know, but Fougere must have put the time in this week because, man, he's been just so perfect here to see this afternoon, especially in the first half of this one.
Doing a fab job holding on to the lead. You can see he's already got 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second. May as well just call it a full second over Matthew Barkhouse. And that's not something we say here in the Tim's Corner Motorsports. We're used to seeing that 15 car up in the front and pulling away, and Noel Fougere really making the magic happen in that 36 magic ride there, the Hamburger Helper ride. Got my sponsors mixed up just a little bit. Sponsors, nicknames, all that good stuff. But RBR Boss Man, the number 5 car, Craig Tully, how about it? He's holding on to that podium spot. Dave Cassidy right in behind him. Little Tinder Captain Morgan action with that 13 car. And Rational Richard Drake going to drop back to P5 for right now.
Ryan Messer's coming on strong too. He just kind of shot off came off like he was shot out of a canyon there, and he and the 34 are kind of working their way up through the traffic. They're knocking on the door of the top 5 right now.
Messer was using the top side in the second race of the Eastbound eSports as well as the LCQ to make it to the show here. He is your hard charger. We talked about Rhino and Messer being the ones coming up through that LCQ, but Ryan Messer picking up 17 spots right now. Finding himself in a P7 on the outside right now of Kyle Boudreau in the 81. But the other hard charger, Mike Rhino, on the tail. So 2 cars to watch here. They are the big move shakers here tonight.
2/3 of the race done as we complete lap number 50, and you can see everybody still all over the racetrack. Noel Fougere, he's checked out. He gone. He's a half a second and counting over Matthew Barkhouse, Craig Tully in third, Dave Cassidy, Richard Drake, the top 5, Boudreau, Messer, Rhino, Alexander, and Woldridge, the top 10. Keith Lord, Jason Goss, Mike Hopkins, Dale Glessner, and Caden Tufts, the 15 drivers on the lead lap. That means 15 drivers could honestly win this race here. We've had pretty much clean and green all the way through. 1, maybe 2 cautions throughout the entire night. Been some great action here with the Twin 22s for the Eastbound eSports and a whole slew of heat races, a pair of LCQs, and now the main event here of the evening. And we want to thank you so much for tuning in here on Vidane TV. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, a like, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching some entertaining iRacing action here with the Tim's Corner Motorsports. Mike on the Rock, 75. Big week coming up Wednesday night. Tim's Corner Motorsports episode, TCM Live, episode number 54, I believe. Hard to think that we're all the way up there. And then Thursday night, NEPS Championship. Pretty much the going to be the John Peters champ race. Going to be able to see that. Going to be tuning in live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And speaking of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, got to check out Cup Weekend, July 15th through the 17th. Friday night, the Dirt Duel is going to be an absolute blast. Tim's Corner Motorsports jumping on board with the sponsorship. All the information for that at timscorner.ca. Make a trip out of it. Get down to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And if you want to make a multi-week trip out of it, 2 weeks before that, the SRX Series is going to be at Stafford Motor Speedway on Saturday, July 2nd, but July 1st. The Friday night before that, this guy, Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., in the number 66 Street Stock. Be a rent a race car, Vidane TV going to be on the quarter panels. That's going to be an absolute blast. Come out, get an autograph, watch some racing. Most importantly, get out to the racetrack and have some fun.
Absolutely. I'll actually be making the trip down to Stafford myself, putting the fan hat on to go to the SRX show. Last year's was a great time. Looking forward to it this year.
I'm telling you right now, Jeff, you got to bring a tent and you got to bring a cooler because we're going to be drinking some beers. Followed by an awkward silence. All right.
No, last year it was quite simple. Dad shot me an email, said, "Hey, that's a Tony series. That's the Stafford they're going to, right? I guess we got to go to that. I said, yeah, why not? And this year, Mom said she wants to go. I don't think my mother's been to a race in 20 years, so that's actually a really good sign of what SRX is doing. And Stafford's a great venue for it up here. There aren't that many, there aren't a lot of tracks in New England that could really host an event of that stature.
100%.
Well, with Kobe winning the first year, I mean, can you imagine what year number 2 is going to bring?
And that's going to be something that's pretty cool because the winner, Stafford hasn't even said who their local driver is going to be when SRX is there. You have to win the Spring Sizzler modified race to be the SRX driver for Stafford Motor Speedway. That is a huge deal. That could go to anybody in that modified race. That's going to be an absolute blast, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I was going to say Steven Kopchik sounds like he could be a good pick for something like that. Luke Fenhouse did that at Slinger last year. Winner of the Slinger Nationals got advanced to the big SRX show. And I mean, that put kid like Luke Fenhouse gets on the map that way. Could be a really big deal for whoever wins Sizzler this year.
I got to tell you, though, there is a modified chassis hanging out at the Rent a Race Car shop in Berlin, Connecticut. I think if we get a big enough bag of money, I can talk Gary Spinato into putting the car together for me. I can get out there, I can win the Spring Sizzler, and then I can be a driver in the SRX series, and then I'll have some tickets to give away here live on Verdane TV.
If you got a big enough bag of money, couldn't you borrow a car from Keith Rocco?
That I could. That I could.
I'm watching the race back here, NEP style. We got Mike Hopkins and Keith Lord going at it. Keith Lord, the NASCAR champion spotter, believe it or not, giving Mike Hopkins a run for his money.
We saw Mike Hopkins do very, very well in the heat races earlier on. Finished second in the heat race, and he's actually up 10 spots from where he is. Take a look at that car. He's clean and green all the way around. There's still 15 laps to go, but so far so good for the Magnum 78 ride.
Yeah, but out front, it looks like it's the same as before. We got Fougere leading, and actually, it's possible Barkhouse is reeling him in a little there.
Yeah, Mr. Still on the move there, Paul. He's picking up another spot now and finds himself in the 6th spot. So still throwing down here. He's going to try to reach the back of the 141 of Rash. But that's a nice little battle behind Tully right now.
100%. Rational Richard Drake. Looks like that car definitely set up for the short run as he's dropping back just a little bit. And it looks like the 1 and the 34 may very well have a tow strap hooked up between those two cars because they've been making their way through the field through this entire race here. Now 13 to go, 12 to go at the line. Just kidding, 13 to go at the line. And Mike Rhino pretty much following Ryan Messer all the way up through the field. You can see Messer now on the back bumper of Tully. He's going to hold on to that high line. Tully's going to hold on to that high line too, but that's the beauty of Rockingham. You can drive anywhere on this racetrack and make that car fast.
Yeah, Ryan has impressed in a few runs in NEP this year. We're glad to have him. Brent's glad to no longer be the lone Canadian in the series, so certainly been great to have Ryan along with us, and hope he'll be back next year.
With 12 to go here, will we see that caution? I know spotters are now yelling at their drivers, trying to pick it up here. With 12 to go, this has been pretty much almost all green. We have one caution here tonight. 11 to go here as they click it off. Noel Fougere with a monster 1 3/10 of a second on Barkhouse, but some close quarter racing right now. Woolridge is now caught up to Mike Alexander. He's going to get past the 75. Close quarters there. That could draw out a caution if that gets a little dirty as we count down the final 10 laps. Coming around to 3 and 4. Fougere is going to make it 10.
Yeah, it looked like Barkhouse was reeling him in there, but Fougere set sail at this point. It's hard to say. He's if anybody's not hoping for the caution, he's certainly at the top of that list.
It's almost like Fougere backed up just a little bit to save a little bit of tire, kind of mess with Barkhouse just a little bit, and then he just hit the rocket booster, smashed that NOS button, he's gone. He's at 2 seconds almost. At the line, there it is, 2 seconds over Matthew Barkhouse. Noel Fougere has done his homework. He understood the assignment. That 36 hamburger helper machine, he's on rails. He is doing a great job here. 9 laps to go in the Mike on the Rock 75 here at Rockingham, and Noel Fougere, Bubbles, doing a great job. He's led almost all of them here tonight, I think.
Well, Rash took it at the beginning, but once he got past there, that battle with Barkhouse and reeled in Rational Richard, he just took off. He had about a 5-second lead over the rest of the field. Jeff, as a driver, and you were qualifying here tonight, having a peek at what Fougere's throwing down, what is it that's the magic of the night for the 36? Is it setup? Is it just entry into 1 and 2, 3 and 4, exit? What's going on with the 36?
The thing about these cars has always been momentum, and that's one of my weakest points. I mean, I'm not going to go out and say I'm a great driver in anything, but I've never been able to get that consistent, smooth feel where you're into the corner, you've got the car going in just like you want, coming out just like you want, and Fougere clearly has that tonight. John Peters has it in NEP. It's just got a good feel for that car. It's you're riding on the ragged edge with this thing sometimes. It's a little bit of more of a primitive setup than some of the, like I said, than some of these more modern cars. You have to be able to baby it around and still get some speed out of it. And clearly that's what Fougere is able to do.
Well, you look at that lead now, 3.5 seconds. He just picked up 2 seconds just like that. I mean, that's monster amount of time in 4 laps, Paul.
100%. He's going to come out of turn 3 and 4. He's going to get a high five from the flag man. Barney up in the flag stand. 5 to go for the 36, Noel Fougere. I guess technically it would be the next lap. It would be the high 4 because the Hamburger Helper logo only has 4 fingers. What's up with that?
It's missing its thumb.
Was the thumb technically a finger? I don't think it is.
Oh, it does have the thumb. Wait
yeah, it's got a thumb. It's
which
only
fingers are missing?
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's weird.
The pinky finger. It's not important.
Yeah, you don't need it. It's only a balancing act. There you can see the 03 of U-House going a lap down. Going another lap down. Currently scored 18th, multiple laps down. 15 drivers on the lead lap, and it's not even to say that there's been slow drivers out there. Noel Fougere just putting down blistering lap times. 4.5 seconds now the lead over Matthew Barkhouse, and a couple of seconds on further back to Dave Cassidy. Mike Rhino in the 34 car. He's all the way up to P4. How about that? 16 spots gained. It's going to be between Rhino and Messer, though, to see who's going to be the hard charger. Rhino plus 16, Messer plus 17, and Caden Tuff's right in there, and P11 plus 11 on the night. But 3 to go here at Rockingham for the Mike on the Rock 75, and Noel Fougere is checked out and gone.
Yeah, Jeff, you really got to be watching the close quarter racing right now. You know, you're looking at the ticker right now. There's a lot of separation there. I don't think we're going to see the caution here as we get down to the 2 fingers here. That is 2 to go here for Noel Fougere. The Magic Man has now made it a 5 1/4. He is the Magic Man tonight, and his first name doesn't even begin with Mike.
Yeah, the 15 just kind of burned up what he had, but at the same time, he doesn't seem to be falling into the clutches of 3rd place any faster either.
Monster long run here tonight. 1 caution. The 36 now taking a white rag. Coming around 1 and 2. This is Noel Fougere's to lose. 6.2 seconds on Matthew Barkhouse. Unbelievable.
Noel Fougere heading on down into 3 and 4, 6.5 seconds. He gone. He is checked out. He's going to finish this race an hour before everybody else. Crossing the checkered flag. There he goes. The Hamburger Helper ride. 6 3/4 seconds over Mike Barkhouse in the 2nd spot, who's just now crossing the line. How about Dave Cassidy? Great showing all night long in that Captain Morgan and Tinder ride. We're going to talk to the top 3 drivers here in the post-race show. Mike Rhino, 16 spots gained in P4. Tanton Woldridge in P5. Richard Drake slides on back to P6. Ryan Messer, P7, 17 spots gained. He is the hard charger of the night. Craig Tully, Kyle Boudreau, and Caden Tuff's going to round out the top 10.
Monster field here, man. Jeff, great to have you in the booth, bro. Always great to have a driver's perspective, and you can do a great job here on the mic. So hopefully we'll get you back here again. And as we see Noel Fougere burning it down, take us through your final thoughts of the night here, Jeff. What did you think of it all?
It was a good show. I mean, I'd much rather have been in the starting lineup, but you got 40 fast cars here. It's hard to just crack the field. We had Jason Ricker's been knocking down the door to victory lane, and he couldn't even make the field. But I'll tell you, it's Fougere had him covered at the end there. I mean, I thought Barkhouse might have had something for him, but it looks like he just burned it off. And you had a nice clean race. You had a good show where you didn't really have any need for cautions. It wasn't a wreck fest. You didn't come down to just whoever could stay on the lead lap still had a legit shot. It was a whooping.
Great field of drivers. A lot of people here from the NEP series as well as the TCM regulars. But it's going to be Noel Fougere, the 36. One caution here tonight. Once he got past the 141 of Rational Richard Drake, who finished in that P6, he took off like a rocket man, taking in 3 seconds sometimes and making it almost 6.25 seconds off the rest of the field. What a night for Noel Fougere, a.k.a. Bubbles. Man, Tim, what did you think of that one?
I thought it was good. I think this is the first race that we've had. Obviously, we've only done one race a week on average the last couple of weeks, but I think, and excuse my French, I think this is the first time that nobody is pissed off at each other at the end of the race. So I think so far we're good. Congratulations to Noel on the win. We'll talk to him in a moment, but I think you guys have Dave Cassidy up here. Good third place run for the 13 tonight.
Yeah, I got to talk to the driver of the 13 car because we're going to party. I mean, P3 is pretty good. And
we're partying?
Captain Morgan and Tinder as sponsors. We're partying with the 13 crew. Dave, talk to us, man. Great run here tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Third place, I'll take it.
Coming home with the third place here in the Mike and the Rock 75 here for TCM, and a great showing in the Twin 22s earlier on here tonight. And we saw battling the handling with these cars, the ARCA cars here at Rockingham. A little bit slippery throughout the track. What did you experience here throughout the night?
I had no looseness at all. I was tight. I was really tight in. I tried to go in high and then set the car, try to exit low, and it seemed to work out.
Definitely worked out in your favor here tonight. A little bit further on back, but I mean, Noel Fougere pretty much taking everybody to school here. Pardon me, at Rockingham, but to be able, pardon me again, geez, almost 40 drivers here qualifying for 24 spots. It's one heck of a way to even make the show and to come home with a podium. Definitely has to feel pretty good for that 13 camp.
Oh, for sure. Anytime you can run up front with guys like Noel and Barkhouse and Rhino and them, you know you're having a pretty good night.
And definitely been good here. And we got to check out the rest of the season here. A couple of races left in TCM as far as the iRacing events go. Getting a lot of stuff going on the real racing circuit here. But what's going on in the world of Dave Cassidy? Have you got any real racing going on? Have you got any iRacing, any other leagues that you're going to be running throughout the spring and summer months?
I'm heading out to Toronto next week, so I won't be able to do Tim's races next week there. A little vacation there. Stuff that was supposed to happen a couple of years ago. We were shut down for COVID. As far as the real racing season goes, I'll probably just be helping out the two of Ashton Tucker again on the pro stock and traveling around with them guys and work, I guess.
That's what it's all about. I got a lot of that under my belt as well with the Rental Race Car Cruise down at Stafford Motor Speedway, and it's not quite driving, but it's still a lot of fun to be able to work on race cars, especially with your buddies as the drivers and on the cruise and all that good stuff. But want to give you an opportunity here. We know you got Tinder. We know you got Captain Morgan on the car. We talked about that a couple of times here tonight. Who else makes it happen for the virtual 13 car?
No, the Tinder thing's done. You can't do that stuff anymore. But Captain Morgan's a pretty regular occurrence. But pretty much only spiced around in the fall there. You can mix her with a little bit of eggnog. It's usually Captain Morgan white, but I couldn't get a paint scheme.
Root beer.
Never tried that one, but other than that, just Tim for putting these on, you guys for doing the broadcast there. You all do a great job, and everybody that comes out and makes this stuff happen.
Phenomenal run. Enjoy your vacation coming up next week, and great run here tonight. Podium finish P3 for Dave Cassidy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Mikey, I'm going to kick it on over to you because I can see you're already hanging out over there in Victory Lane. You've caught up with Bubbles, Noel Fougere. He led the race, and he won by about 3 laps, it looks like. So you've caught up with Noel, it looks like.
Fougere, are you singing the anthem in the background?
I've been singing since about 5 laps to go, let me tell you. Yeah, what a show.
Bro, I don't know if you got nitrous in that or you got the button. What's going on, man? You had about a 1.25 seconds, and then it was a 3-second lead, then it was a 5-second lead. Once you got past Rational Richard Drake, you just took off. The caution came out. You just went right back to where you were before that. Take us through your night, man. What an awesome long run the 36 gave us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, man. I guess for now I'm just keeping my fingers crossed until post-race inspection is over. But no, for real, great show. I mean, I love these cars. I love this track. It's bumpy. It's rough. It's fun to drive. You got to save a lot, if you want to have a shot to win, which I knew coming in. So was kind of telling myself, basically, you can't really race at all, because if you spend any time battling with anybody, you're just throwing your tires away and throwing away a shot to win. So I was just biding my time, and I seen Richard pull away at the beginning, and I thought either he was, he was doing good saving or maybe not so good saving, and then about I think 30 laps in, me and Matt both started to reel him in, and I was just riding. Me and Matt were just chilling and got past the two of them, because then Matt and Richard ended up fighting a little bit for the lead, and I snuck through there on the inside, and away I went. Adios.
Now, I don't know if I'm prying into your private life on this one, but that car looked really balanced. When you came in here tonight, was there any fuel strategy? Did you have a certain amount of fuel you were going to carry? Like, did you have a fuel strategy coming into this one to balance that car out?
Not a clue, to be honest with you. I was assuming that we'd get at least one pit stop. I was thinking either we were going to get one pit stop or we were going to get none, and I was going to make it on fuel, which I was happy that we would make it on fuel, so it wouldn't play into like a strategy hand. So the caution came out at a perfect time, like basically right halfway in the race. We could come in, change the stuff over, and go back at it again. I looked at my tire wear when I left, and I seen that obviously the way this track runs, the right front wears a lot more than the right rear. So I was just basically the whole time was just being mindful not to slide the right rear coming off the corner, not to slide the right front going into the corner, going up the track, and yeah, just kind of played in my hands. I mean, very clean race. Like, this group of guys is such a great group to run with every week. You know, Matt Barkos, battling with him throughout the race, and I know I'm battling with Tanton for the championship, and he did a great job tonight. So I love running here with these guys. It's always a blast.
Big point night for yourself. Throughout this race, 75 laps here in the mile, 75 miles basically on the ticker here. From the beginning to the end, where did you find most of your speed? Did you change your strategy as you went through the 75?
To be honest with you, speed wasn't exactly on my radar. I would have rathered be a little bit slower, which I was. I sacrificed a little bit of short run speed to keep that long run consistency. But I know the top, realistically, on the long run, the short run would have been quicker. If I'd fired off on the top, I probably would have been a little bit quicker. But holding the bottom is really the best thing you can do. It's easiest on all your tires, and it doesn't. It takes the risk away from slapping the fence too. Which is not hard to do here.
Well, there you have it. I mean, we've seen earlier on in the Eastbound eSports, Ryan Messer, like the top, we've seen quite a few cars go into the wall, trying to hang on up there for several laps. So, great strategy from the 36. Noel, man, it's always a pleasure to see you up here in the top, man. You definitely put in the time. This week, a lot of time here at the Rock.
Put in a couple hours last night. I say a couple hours, probably an hour or so, just to run and just to refresh myself. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I won this, I think, 2 years ago, and I think I finished second or third in last year's race. So I had a lot of confidence coming in. So I just wanted to refresh, make sure I was good to go, because, iRacing's always changing stuff with the tire and changing stuff with the track, just to make sure that I was still on the right page for when the green flag dropped.
You just made me feel really weird. Is this the third annual running of Mike on the Rock 75?
It is the third annual running. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I'm interviewing you. You're not interviewing me, so shut up.
All right.
Fougere, man, so proud of you, man. It's great to see you, especially over the last 3 years, man. To be honest with you, like you're a gentleman. You don't get into a lot of trouble. Always a pleasure to have you here on the podium. Who gets it done for you, and what do you got planned coming up?
Well, I gotta start off thanking my grandparents. My grandfather and grandmother are both watching this at home, so I gotta say thanks to them for always spending some late nights cheering me on. I gotta thank, well, obviously you for putting this show on. In particular, it's been quite good to me the last couple of years, so I guess I have you to thank for that. But Vidane as a whole, always nice for you guys to come on board with TCM and broadcast some of these races. It's always a pleasure. Tim, of course, for throwing these on. It's, a lot of time out of his schedule and some money out of his pocket for us boys to come out here and turn a few laps. So it means a lot. Thanks to all the other drivers, man. Again, this race was so clean. We only had one yellow, and lap cars being so respectful, getting out of the way, and everything like that. So it's such a pleasure running with these guys. Who else? I mean, my girlfriend's always cheering me on. I got to thank her, my mom and dad, and yeah, I think that's about it.
Coming up in the 2022 season, I know right across Atlantic Canada, including Eastbound, we're going to be firing Victoria Day weekend. I know you did the anthem. One person in particular did not get to see you take the win here tonight. Dazzling Dylan, Sleeping Beauty's got to work in the morning, so he didn't want to hang out with us tonight. So we can razz him on the next one.
He's probably at home, ironing his sparkly red jacket.
No, that boy is asleep, he said. So, but hopefully we'll see him back here in the booth and call another big one for you. But Noel, have you ever thought about maybe even jumping into a hobby stock, a street stock, or dabbling on the real race surface?
It's funny you say that. I mean, driving a race car is something that I wanted to do for as long as I can remember. I've never really been in the position, whether it be financially or just, knowing the right people to do that, which I'm not going to sit here and complain and say I've never had the opportunity, but, I've been open to it. Like I said, it's something I've wanted to do for years and years and years. So this league that we've been running has been such a cool opportunity to show up and run with, hell, even a lot of the top guys in the Pro Stock series. Just some kid that all I'm really known for is singing "O Canada" at Riverside Speedway. So to show up here and run with these boys and get a few wins here and there has just meant the world to me so far. So like I said, hopefully soon, eventually. There's nothing particular in the works right now, but hopefully soon I'll be behind the wheel of a race car at some point.
Maybe I'll be your agent. I know I'm going to make some calls here and maybe even make a call out to everybody that's tuning in here tonight. Brent, Roy, Tim, everybody that's out there. Someone needs to put this kid, because William Byron just won a cup race in Phoenix. He came from the iRACING server, and look at his career take off. And several other drivers have made monster careers coming out of the iRACING server into the real race surface, man. Hopefully one day I see you in a super late or pro late or something, man. It'd be awesome to see your progression, because what I've seen come out of the 36 over the last couple of years is nothing but magic. So congratulations from all of us at TCM, as well as myself and Paulie. Man, what a night. Congratulations, Noel.
Thanks, Mike. That means so much to me, man. You have no idea. I appreciate that so much.
There you have it, Tim. What do you think? Bubbles taking the win here tonight. Can we get him a ride?
Whoa. Hang on. It's very rare that I get to have Jeff
hold on,
Brown.
Paul, I have to explain this. We were going to get Corey Casagrande on here because I saw him working around the pits here, the virtual pits, and we were going to ask him how it felt to be beat by Kate Ray on Friday night. But because he's not here, I guess Mike Hopkins will have to do.
Well, see, you just ruined my surprise, because I wasn't going to let Jeff Brown get off without an interview. Matthew Barkhouse, finished second, not available for an interview, having some technical difficulties with the information.
Oh, no.
Did Mike just leave? He did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, all right. Well, Jeff, you're going to have to interview yourself on Mike's behalf.
No, that's okay. I don't have any results. I owe one sorry, if I'm saying that correctly. I owe one sorry to the kind gentleman that I'm not sure if I wrecked him or he wrecked me on lap 2 of the Consi there. That was not the finest moment, but when have I been on fine moments?
Well, we were going to have Jeff interview fellow confidant there in the NEP series, the highest finishing American NEP driver, Magnum Mike Hopkins, finishes P12. How about that, Tim?
Yeah, that was great. It was good to see. Sorry, Jeff. It was great to see most of the NEPS guys make their way into the show tonight and put on a good one. But one caution, probably could have been a couple at the start there with some anxious moments at the back. But all these guys did a great job tonight. Pat on the back. Congratulations to our Eastbound winners. Thanks to Phil Fowler, GMP Auto Pro, for putting on the Twin 22s. And for you guys... you guys saw a show tonight. Congratulations to Noel. We have to do the fine kind of crunching of the numbers, but I think we're at the point now with this championship that Noel just has to start the showcase in order to win the championship. But we'll crunch those numbers before next week's wildcard week, and still to be announced on if we're doing the official broadcast on those two or not. But Xfinity, Daytona, Monday night. And then on next Thursday, it is the Smashed Potatoes Spring Smash, whatever you want to call it. And then the showcase the next week. NEP's coming up this week for their season finale on Thursday. Going to want to be here for it. We got Tim's Corner Live coming up on Wednesday. That's going to be a show. That's it. We're done. Mike took enough time tonight. He's got something to finish off there, a couple of wobbly pops. So we're going to let him do that. Join us again on Wednesday for Tim's Corner Live. NEP's on Thursday. That's it. We're done. My name is Tim Terry. Until next time, keep the hammer down. We will see you at the track.
And Bubbles, take us out.
Keep the hammer down, and I suppose we'll see you at the racetrack next time you're out, huh?